And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to YOLO High Wheelers Baseball via YouTube Live from Raimondi Park in Oakland, California. This is Doug Greenwald. It is the visiting YOLO High Wheelers and the hometown Oakland Ballers. So the series shifts now to Oakland. Well, the first three games did not go too well for the High Wheelers over at Dobbins Stadium, as Oakland won all three games, and all pretty close games, including yesterday the knockout round, in which the regular portion of the game ended 5-5, and the knockout portion ended 2-1. So the YOLO High Wheelers will try and get it going here this evening, as YOLO has lost 4 in a row. YOLO comes in at 16-20. Oakland has a 23-16 record, and they have won 4 straight games. 23-16. That is tops in. That is the first time this year that the Ballers have been 7 games better than 500. So the starting lineups, or for the pitching matchup here tonight for the YOLO High Wheelers, it'll be left-hander Brandon Mitchell who gets the ball. The Houston area native, a record of 1-1 and a 7.36 ERA. For Mitchell, this will be his 7th start / 7th appearance of the year. Meanwhile, for the Oakland Ballers, it'll be the right-hander Aaron Eden. He has a record of 2-3 and an ERA of 8.4. So, as I said, these two teams about to get set here tonight. We will have 3 games here in Oakland. Tonight, of course, is at 6:35 for the first pitch. Tomorrow we go at 1:05. And then also on Sunday at 1:05. And then we'll talk about our next homestand throughout the broadcast here tonight, because we do have some quirks to it with unusual game times and the amount of games we will be playing in that set against Rocky Mountain. All right, so let's take a look now at the starting lineups. First for the visiting YOLO High Wheelers and manager Billy Horton. Again, YOLO a record of 16-20. Leading it off and playing in center field is Braylon Skinner. Batting second and at shortstop, Bobby Leday. Hitting third and playing third, Braden Blackbird. The right fielder is Jose Gonzalez, and he hits in the cleanup spot. Batting fifth and playing at first base is Alejandro Figueiredo. The designated hitter, Tanner Smith, bats sixth. Hitting seventh, and in left field, Justin Kirby. Hitting eighth and playing at second base is Kirkland Banks, and batting ninth and doing the catching, Angel Mendoza. On the mound tonight for the YOLO High Wheelers is the left-hander Brandon Mitchell. So again, for YOLO and manager Billy Horton, it's Skinner, Leday, and Blackford, Gonzalez, Figueiredo, and Smith, Kirby, Banks, and Mendoza, with the left-hander Mitchell on the mound. For Micah Franklin and the Oakland Ballers, again, winners of 4 in a row, 23-16 this year. Leading it off and playing in right field, Austin Davis. Peyton Harden hits second, and he's in center field. Batting third is the left fielder, Trevor Halsema. Dondre Hubbard bats cleanup at third base. Miles Jefferson is the shortstop, and he is slotted fifth. Hitting sixth is the designated hitter, Jalen Smith. Noah Martinez bats seventh, and he's at first base. Colton Horner, who we did not see at all, at least we didn't see him in any games, over the 3-game set in Davis. He gets to the lineup tonight and does the catching and bats eighth, and Brad Burkell rounds out the lineup hitting ninth at second base. So on the mound tonight, having just concluded his warm-up tosses for Oakland, is the right-hander in Aaron Eden. Again for Oakland and manager Micah Franklin, it's Davis, Harden, and Halsema, Hubbard, Jefferson, and Smith, Martinez, Horner, and Burkell, with the right-hander Eden on the mound. Tonight's umpires calling balls and strikes is Alan Walker. Ricardo Rodriguez is the umpire at first base, and Grant Myers, who we just saw in Davis for 3 games. Grant Myers is the third base umpire. All right, we are set to go on a gorgeous 72-degree evening from West Oakland. And Austin Davis Braylon Skinner to lead it off. And the first pitch of the ball game from Aaron Eden is a strike call on the outside corner, 1-1. And we are underway at 6:36 p.m. Against 72 degrees, sun-filled evening from the East Bay. The windup in the 0-1, and Skinner goes around, high fastball, strike two. And the count's at no balls and two strikes. The game's first batter in Braylon Skinner, who hits at .319. He has 3 homers and 24 runs batted in. Eden sporting a turquoise blue glove out of the full windup, and the right-hander's 0-2s in the dirt, ball one. And the count's at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Braylon Skinner facing Aaron Eden, last name capital E-D-E-N. Grew up in the, I guess you could say, greater Riverside area. Grew up in Norco. The kick on the 1-2, and that's reached for and hit into left field. And this ball is off the wall, played by Halsema. And with the short dimensions, the ball got out there so quickly. And Skinner holds with a leadoff single. So Braylon Skinner, a wall ball single. The left fielder Halsema getting the ball eventually in toward second base. So Skinner, 1 for 5 with a double yesterday. He got that 9th inning rally going with that 1-out double, scored the tying run. So Skinner, who'd been slumping a little bit of late, 2 for his last 14, at least 2 for 14 over the 3 games in Davis against Oakland. Now Bobby Leday bats, and he looks down the middle, strike 1, 0-1. 361 for Leday, 8 home runs, and he has a team-high 41 runs batted in. Skinner, 14 steals this year. He's been caught 5 times. Outfield fairly deep straight away, and the pitch and Leday takes, and that is low for a ball. And the count moves now to 2 balls and no strikes to Leday, who again is getting the start at shortstop tonight. Second straight night, Braylon Marine, second straight game, Braylon Marine has not been in the lineup. In fact, Marine did not play at all yesterday. Doesn't mean he couldn't play later tonight. And I was talking to YOLO manager Billy Horton about that. I said, Marine not in the lineup for back-to-back games. I understand a guy's going to have a day once in a while. And Billy Horton said Marine is fine. Just wanted to give him an extra day. Skinner at first, and the pitch, and Leday takes, and that's up and in. And I believe the count's at 3 balls and no strikes. The scoreboard / video board here, which is out in right center field, is not keeping track of the ball strike indicator. So 3 balls and no strikes, in my opinion. Skinner, the runner at first base, being held on by Martinez. No score, and the pitch, and Leday takes. And that is,
the call on the field is being challenged.
Well, let's see here. I guess that's a ball, but I guess that's not ball 4. However, the call is being challenged. It's been overturned to a strike, so Oakland challenged the call, and it was overturned to a strike, so I am waiting to see if the umpire, Alan Walker, will give an indication of what the count is. Skinner at first, and now the upcoming pitch. Sidestep offering, Skinner goes, and the pitch is in the dirt, and Skinner, since he was off on the pitch, steals second base. The ball was blocked by the catcher, Horner. So Skinner, that is his 15th stolen base this year. Team leader in steals is the man at the plate, and Leday, who's got 17 stolen bases. Count is at, I believe, 2 balls and 2 strikes. I guess I was way off when I was guessing earlier. I guess in my mind it's really ball 5 now. All right, we'll go with 2 and 2. So Leday, complexion of the at-bat changes now. Trying to at least get a ground ball to the right side, and he swings and he flies one toward right. Davis back to make the catch. Skinner tags from second. He's on his way to third. Here is a throw, and not in time. The ball not handled anyway on one hop by the third baseman, Hubbard. So Leday does the job. Fly ball deep enough to right. He is 0 for 1, but he advances Skinner. So from a single to a steal to a fly ball to right, that puts Skinner with his gray pants and black shirt all dirty after that dive into third. And now Braden Blackford digs in at 337. He has 7 home runs. 5 of the 7 have come against Oakland this year. And he has 26 runs batted in, including the last 2 games in which he has homered against the Ballers. So homer Wednesday, homer Thursday. Infield's back, they'll concede a run, and Blackford is swinging and a miss at a high fastball, strike 1 from Eden. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike to Braden Blackford. So again, the infield's back. No score. And the 0-1, and Blackford takes inside ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. All right, there we go. Now we have a scoreboard and a video board to look at in terms of the actual indicator of balls and strikes. So 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Blackford, who chokes up a couple of inches, sporting the black batting gloves. Eden's pitch from the set and swinging a foul to the screen. Strike 2. And it counts at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Blackford. Mentioned a home run yesterday for Blackford, which gave him, at that time, 6 straight hits, all of the extra base variety. He had a couple of homers and 3 doubles and a triple in that mix as the 2-strike pitch. Swing and a miss, high fastball, strike 3. So Blackford unable to get the run in there. And that's the first strikeout for Eden. It freezes Skinner at third, 2 out. And now, here is Jose Gonzalez. So Blackford mentioned 6 straight extra base hits up until a 5th inning single yesterday. I talked to Braden about that before the game tonight. Now it's Gonzalez who bats, and he takes up and away ball 1, 1-0. I said, Braden, you had an interesting string of hits in succession. He says, yeah. He goes, I heard something about that. I had 6 straight hits, all for extra bases prior to the single. I said, yeah, you got it. And I said, Braden, you messed it up getting that single. He says, I know. He goes, I'm sorry to mess that up by getting just a regular old single. As Gonzalez takes strike 1 on the outside corner, 1-1. 381 for Jose, 9 homers to lead the club. He's got 34 runs batted in, and he takes low from Eden for a ball. And the count moves now to 2 balls and a strike to Gonzalez, whose 12-game hitting streak was snapped yesterday. He was 0 for 4 with a walk. So during this 12-game streak for Gonzalez, he hit .440 in that span. Skinner at third, and Gonzalez a big swing and a miss with a breaking ball. Took his head off that one from that changeup. 1 ball, 2 strikes with a game no score. Top half of the first inning from 4,100 seat Raimondi Park here in West Oakland. Beautiful night for baseball. Outfield around to the left side, and the 2-strike pitch. Strike 3 called, outside corner, and Gonzalez is out, and that concludes the top half of the first. So good job by Eden. Skinner at third and 1 out, and he gets Blackford and Gonzalez to strike out. 1 hit and 1 left after half an inning from Alameda County. YOLO nothing in Oakland coming up. You are listening to the YOLO High Wheelers on YouTube Live. After half an inning tonight from Raimondi Park, it is YOLO nothing, and Oakland coming up to face the left-hander in Brandon Mitchell. So the Houston native has a record of 1-1, 7.36 ERA. This will be his 7th appearance, all as a starter. So we have 2 more games after tonight here in Oakland within this series. Tomorrow for Yolo, right-hander Ben Ferrer against Oakland lefty Reed Butts. Butts also the pitcher of the week from the Pioneer League. And then Sunday, also a 105 get-together, right-hander J.C. Ariza for Yolo, right-hander Christian Cosby for Oakland. Austin Davis leads it off, and Brandon Mitchell's first pitch up and in, ball 1 to Davis. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. So Davis, Harden, and Halsema to face Mitchell, who played his college baseball at the University of New Orleans. 3-quarter windup, and the pitch, and Davis, as he normally does when he takes all the way, literally backs out of the box and lets the ball go by for a strike, 1-1. Mitchell, 24 years old, 6'2", 215 pounds. The windup and the pitch, and Davis swings, line drive, left field, base hit. So Austin Davis, who in all 3 games in Davis, the most recent 3 games in Davis, for Davis, 4 and in Davis, led off each one of them by reaching base safely. A walk on Tuesday, a walk on Wednesday, and a single yesterday. So Austin Davis is aboard to get things cooking for the Oakland Ballers. No score. Bottom half of the first inning. Austin Davis, by the way, coming in at .350 with 7 homers and 25 runs batted in. He has 21 steals this year to lead the Ballers. He's been caught 4 times. Now it's Harden, and it looks low for Mitchell, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Harden's averaged .331, 1 homer, 19 runs batted in. Infield looking at turn 2. No score, bottom of the first. Mitchell's pitch from the set, up and away for a ball. And the count's at 2 balls and no strikes. Harden sacrifice fly yesterday was 1 for 4. Had 3 hits over the 3 games in Davis. Turn throw to first. Figueredo there to take it. Back safely standing up is Austin Davis. Harden looks down at his third base coach and manager, Micah Franklin. Coaching over at first base, former big league infielder with the likes of the Dodgers and Rockies and Cardinals. Aaron Miles is the pitch to Harden. And that's a strike called on the inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yolo in the button-down black shirts, orange number on both sides of the shirt, black cap, orange letter Y on the front of the cap, yellow bill. Gray pants, gold number on the orange number on the back of the shirt. Switch here. Swinging a comebacker. Gloved by the pitcher Mitchell. He goes to Lede at second for 1, and the shortstop sort of first, not in time. Figueredo there to take it, but Harden not only with good speed, but also batting left-handed, has a little bit of a head start toward first. So that is the first out in the bottom of the first inning with the game 0-0, Yolo in Oakland. And now it's Trevor Halsema who comes up. .371 bats Halsema, 8 home runs, and he has 41 RBIs. So Harden, the runner at first base, 11 for 15 in steal tries this year. As Mitchell from the set delivers, and that's down the middle, strike 1. And the count's at 0 balls and 1 strike. Oakland in the button-down white shirt, white pants. Oakland in big green letters spelled across the front of the shirt. Green number on the back is the pitch on the way, and that is in the dirt for a ball. And the count to Halsema is at 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1-1 the count to Halsema. Harden at first base, being held on by Figueredo. And the pitch, Mitchell delivers from the head. Swing, ground ball, shortstop. Gloved by Lede. Underhand toss to Banks at second for 1, and easily on to Figueredo at first. That's the double play. So it came 1 batter later, and that concludes the inning. 6-4-3. Short second first. Lede, Banks, and Figueredo. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. We move to the second inning tonight from Oakland. No score. Yolo and Oakland on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports.
Partible for other fun Partible adventures and download the Part official app to plan your trip.
Ballers fans, I'm here with Marcus and Bob. We are going BART transportation race. If you guys look up on the video board, there is going to be 3 BART trains. Mark, what BART train are you rooting for?
I'm going for green.
Green, okay, and you, Bob?
Let's go blue!
Blue, and I'm taking yellow. I'm inserting myself into this race. All right, take a look. Yellow, I am in the lead so far. Oh, we got a green and blue neck and neck.
Let's go green! Come on!
Marcus is cheering loud for green. I can hear Bob over there too. Oh, it's gonna be neck and neck. And it is blue, Bob. Bob's blue is going to take home the win. Nice job, Bob. That was the BART transportation race.
On we go to the second inning here this evening from Oakland, California. 0-0 Yolo and Oakland. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live. Glad you can join us on this Friday evening. So each team had the leadoff man reach, and neither could do anything with it. So we move on to the second inning. Alejandro Figueiredo to lead it off for the High Wheelers, and it's Smith and Kirby. 5, 6, and 7 to face the right-hander and Aaron Eden, who played at both San Diego State and San Jose State. And Figueiredo, who played at Florida Gulf Coast, takes low and in ball 1. Ball and no strikes to Figueiredo, who was not with the Ballers when we were here last month. So this is the first time he has ever been to this ballpark. Full windup by Eden, and the pitch, and Figueiredo takes, and that is high, ball 2, 2-0. Through 13 games with Yolo, 333 for Figueiredo. He has one homer. He has one home run as a member of the High Wheelers. That's not his only home run this year. As the pitch and a breaking ball taken for a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Figueiredo, who with Billings this year had 3 homers, so he has 4 home runs overall this season. No score, top of the second. Eden delivers, and that's taken high, ball 3, and the count's now at 3 balls and 1 strike to Eden in the short white sleeves on this sunny Friday night. Outfield fairly deep straightaway, although it doesn't really matter at this ballpark where the outfield plays, as Figueiredo slaps this one past the third baseman Hubbard and on to the left field, a base hit. So Eden left that one up, and Figueiredo in his first at bat at this ballpark has a single as the left fielder Halsema gets the ball in towards short. Second hit for Yolo, and now Tanner Smith digs in. For Tanner, averages a .279. He has 2 home runs, and he has 16 runs batted in. 2 for 4 yesterday with a couple of RBIs. And the pitch to Smith up and in, ball 1, 1-0. So we were here about a month ago. We were here from June 4th through the 9th. And we were the first, we meaning Yolo, the first home opponent for Oakland. Smith takes, and that is outside for a ball. And the count's of 2 balls and no strikes. So the game 0-0, top of the second inning. Yolo and Oakland. And, you know, we weren't sure what to expect. I mean, nobody had ever played a professional baseball game at this ballpark. As the pitch on the way to Smith, high fastball, swing and a miss, strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 0-0, Yolo and Oakland, top of the second. So, what do we find out about this ballpark a month ago? That home runs occur here a lot. Dimensions 312 to left field, 398 to straightaway center, and it's 321 down the right field line. Roughly a 10-foot wall, just about all the way around. Video board and scoreboards out in right center field. The pitch from the set, and Smith shows bunt, and he takes strike 2 on the outside corner with the third baseman Hubbard charging. 2 balls and 2 strikes. No score, top of the second, Yolo and Oakland, with Justin Kirby wetting on deck. Well, anyway, found out that a lot of home runs are here. There were 18 home runs hit by Yolo in that series. In that series that started on June 4th. And Tanner Smith took part in the fun in that set. Figueiredo, a big lead at first, and the pitch, and Smith takes, and that's up and away, ball 3. So it counts now at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Smith, who homered here on June 7th. As he swings here and hits this one right up the middle and through into center field, a base hit. Figueredo will move up to second base, so he stops there. Back-to-back singles to get this second inning cooking for Yolo with the game 0-0. And now Justin Kirby will come up. Yeah, Smith, and what was a 12-8 Oakland win on June 7th, homered. And then Smith also had one on June 8th, so he actually had 2 home runs in this series about a month ago, meaning at this ballpark. Now it's Kirby who comes up, and he drops a bunt, a good one up along the dirt, third base side. It's going to roll just foul. It was good for a while, and there was no chance for the third baseman Hubbard to get to that baseball, and Hubbard said, you know what, let's just hope it goes foul. That ball was deadened up along the little dirt path that goes between the chalk and the lip of the grass third base side. I mean, it was almost like watching a beautiful putt just go smoothly along the dirt, or it's the case of a putting green, but along a smooth surface. And Hubbard said, you know what, it's going to be either all or nothing. It's going to be a bunt single or it's going to be a foul ball. And fortunately for Oakland, it was a foul ball. So the count is 0 balls and a strike. Figueredo's at second, Smith's at first. Corners once again expecting a bunt. And Kirby doesn't show bunt here, takes all the way, and that's a strike called on the outside corner, 0-2. 276 for Kirby, 3 homers, 15 RBIs. Now, he did not take part in all the home run fun here last month. His 3 home runs have either been are comprised of either being in northern Colorado or in Davis. Outfield deep and around toward left. And the 2-strike pitch from Eden, and that is high to Kirby for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's a guy who could use a hit in Kirby. 0 for 1 yesterday as a pinch hitter. Kirby just 3 hits in his last 19 at-bats. It's a 158 clip. Figueredo singled, he's at second. Smith singled, he's at first. And the 1-2 pitch and a waste pitch outside from Eden, ball 2. And the count moves now to 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 the count with Kirkland Banks wetting on deck. No score. Top of the second inning. Runners lead at first and second, and the pitch. And Kirby swings, line drive, right field. Base hit, and the ball skips past the right fielder Davis. The ball's going to go to the wall. Figueredo will score. Smith is going to be waved to the plate. He will score, and Justin Kirby is going to go all the way to third with a slide as the throw from the right fielder Davis, the second baseman Burkell, to the third baseman Hubbard, not in time. And 2 runs are in, and it is 2-0 in favor of Yolo. So that ball had some spin to it. That got out there quickly, and the right fielder Austin Davis said, you know what, no sense in trying to come in and dive for it. That ball might get past me. So I thought he attempted to play it well, but that ball just kicked up off the grass and got past him. And looks like that will be a straight triple for Justin Kirby. RBIs 16 and 17. And the pitching coach, Jim Diedrich, will come out and talk to Eden. So Kirby not only gets both runs home, but now he's at third base with nobody out and a 2-0 Yolo advantage. So Kirby, that's the second triple of the year. Team leader, by the way, on Yolo for triples. Bobby Leday has 3. So in case any of you play rotisserie triple baseball. So now it's Kirkland Banks with a runner at third and nobody out. 2-0 Yolo, so obviously a chance for more. And Oakland will bring its infield in. And Eden's pitch, and Banks takes, and that's outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Kirkland digs in at 288. He has 4 home runs, and he has 17 runs batted in. 2 for 4 yesterday for Banks, who swings and grounds this one past the third baseman Hubbard on down the left field side. Kirby will score. Banks digging for second, and he will make it easily. An RBI stand-up double with his black batting helmet flying off between first and second. And it is now 3-0 YOLO.
Number 35, Angel Mendoza.
Throw eventually came in from the left fielder Halsema toward the direction of the second base bag. So Kirkland Banks has himself an RBI double for Kirkland. RBI number 18. And now it's Angel Mendoza who comes up, the number 9 batter at 169. 2 homers, 12 RBIs. And he pushes a bunt off the plate and foul just along the first base side, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. So 4 straight hits for YOLO to commence the second inning. 3-0 YOLO, top half of the second. And I was talking about all the home runs that are hit at this ballpark. Now, Oakland had 14 homers in that series back in June. So there were 32 combined home runs over the 6 games. It was an average of just over 5 homers a game. And the second inning here, the High Wheelers, as Mendoza pushes a bunt out in front of the mound, off the hill, leading up with it. And he has 1 play. That's the first baseman Martinez. So the sacrifice bunt, nicely done there by Mendoza, moves Banks over to third base. It is 3-0 in favor of YOLO, top half of the second. Back-to-back days in which YOLO has had a 3-0, an early 3-0 lead. Had a 3-run first yesterday, now a 3-run second here tonight. And now for the second time in as many innings, YOLO will go to the top of its order for the center fielder, Braylon Skinner, who singled to left to open the game. And the pitch, swinging a ground ball right through the teeth of the defense into center, a base hit, a chopper right over the mound and on into center with that drawn in infield, base hit Braylon Skinner. Banks scores. Skinner is now 2 for 2. Give him a run batted in. And it's now a 4-run second for YOLO. 4-0 now in favor of the High Wheelers. Skinner, RBI 25. And now Bobby Leday comes up. He is 0 for 1. So Skinner at first base, 14 steals. Actually 15 now. He had a steal in the first inning. 15 steals and the pitch, and that's inside ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Eden has seen the High Wheelers before. Of course, you can say that about just about everybody on this team. This is the 16th meeting this year between these two teams. Oakland leads the season series 10 games to 5. But one of the games Eden pitched against YOLO was a 17-1 YOLO win. That was in Davis on June 18th. And Eden went 3 1/3 in that one as Leday swings and bloops this one toward right center. That's going to get down for a hit. And touching second base on his way to third. And stopping there will go Skinner. The center fielder in Hardin moved to his left, booted the ball for a moment, but Skinner had third base all the way, so there's no error there. So Skinner goes first to third. Leday has a single. 6 hits in the inning, 7 in the game now for YOLO. And that's going to be all for Eden. You know, the Oakland bullpen out in right center field. I didn't see anybody warming up out there, but I was just going to say the game that they beat Eden, they really beat him and they really took it to the Ballers. The game again, a 17-1 YOLO win on June 18th. Eden that one 3 1/3 innings. Allowed 8 hits, 5 runs all earned. He walked 3. Did not strike anybody out and committed a balk. And YOLO in that game got Eden for a 2-run first and then a run in the third. Well, that is going to be all for Eden. So we have a pitching change. We are in the top of the second inning. Still only 1 out. 4-0 YOLO. 4 runs home in this inning. Runners at the corners. And we'll be back to tell you about the new Oakland pitcher in a moment. You're listening to the YOLO High Wheelers on YouTube Live. The new pitcher for the Oakland Ballers is the Houston area product, right-hander Abraham De Leon. It is 4-0 YOLO. Top half of the second inning. This is Doug Greenwald. You're listening to the YOLO High Wheelers on YouTube Live. De Leon did not pitch in the 3-game set in Davis. So De Leon gets the baseball for the 14th time this year. A dozen of those appearances out of the bullpen. No wins, 2 losses. ERA is at 6.75 for De Leon. And now he'll face Braden Blackford, who is the 8th man to bat in this inning for YOLO. Again, only 1 out. It is 4-0 in favor of the High Wheelers. So De Leon, as I said, comes on to do the pitching. So runners at the corners, and the pitch to Braden Blackford. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 1. No balls and a strike. Well, Blackford was up with a runner at third and 1 out in the first and struck out swinging. Now he's up an inning later with a runner at third and 1 out. Only difference is 4 runs are home. There's also a runner at first. As the 0-1 to Braden and a breaking ball from De Leon. Strike 2 called on the outside corner. And the count moves now to no balls and 2 strikes. De Leon, 5'10", 180 pounds. 24 years old. Runners at first and third. 4-0 High Wheelers, and the pitch, and that's low and in for a ball. To Blackford, 1-2. Blackford homered 3 times in as many games. That's right, homers in 3 straight games for Blackford when we were here back in June. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. And the pitch from the set, and Blackford swings. Ground ball to second, should be 2. Glove by Burkell goes to Jefferson at second for 1, and the shortstop's throw to Martinez. Double play, 4-6-3 on the double play. Second short first, Burkell, Jefferson, and Martinez. But 8 come up and 4 score. So 4 runs for YOLO on 6 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left. We move to the bottom of the second. YOLO 4 and Oakland nothing on YouTube Live. Well, 4-0 in favor of the YOLO High Wheelers as we go to the second inning, the bottom of the second inning. So Aaron Eden, a rather abbreviated night as the Oakland starter this evening. Inning and a third, allowed 7 hits, 4 runs all earned, no walks, and struck out 2. So we move on to the bottom of the second, and a 4-run lead for Brandon Mitchell, who kicks in the first pitch to Dondre Hubbard, taken down the middle, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike to count to Hubbard. And it's Jefferson and Smith for 5-6 to face Mitchell, who allowed a hit in the first, but able to get a double play ball. Outfield deep straight away. And Hubbard swings, slaps this ball to shortstop. Lede backhand grab to his right. His throw to Figueredo high, but Figueredo able to reach up and haul that throw in. And Hubbard is out. 1 up and 1 down. Hubbard, 297 coming in. 9 homers to lead the Ballers and 33 RBIs. One of those homers in the 8th inning yesterday to give the Ballers the lead, even though YOLO would come back to tie it with a run in the bottom of the 9th. And then that set up the knockout round, which was won by the Ballers / Hubbard, with he out-homered Yolo's Jose Gonzalez 2-1. So now Miles Jefferson bats at .341, 3 homers, 27 RBIs. 4-0 Yolo, second inning. Bottom of the second, the windup by Mitchell and the pitch, and that's down the middle, strike one. No balls and a strike to Jefferson. 1 for 4 yesterday with a double and a run scored. And he swings and a foul to the backstop. Strike two, no balls and 2 strikes. 5 hits over the 3 games in Oakland, including a home run on Wednesday. That was part of the back-to-back-to-back homers he had with Jalen Smith. Well, Smith homered first, and then it was Jefferson, and then after that, Noah Martinez. So those 3 going back-to-back-to-back. Well, the High Wheelers really went back-to-back-to-back-to-back and all that in the top of this inning with a 4-run inning. So they had 6 hits as the pitch on the way is inside to Jefferson from Mitchell, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's still a ton of daylight here and very comfortable sun-filled evening, not far from the San Francisco Bay, this ballpark. The windup and the 2-strike pitch is inside, ball 2. 2-2 the count. So good attendance here tonight, good crowd it looks like. Mentioned capacity here of 4,100. Grateful Dead night here at Raimondi Park. Mitchell, glove in front of his face. 3-quarter windup and the pitch, swing and a miss. Slider on the outer half of the plate, strike 3, and Jefferson is out. First strikeout now for Brandon Mitchell, 2 out. We are in the second inning, the bottom of the second, 4-0 Yolo. And now Jalen Smith will come up. Smith at .289, 6 home runs, 18 RBIs. Smith RBI single yesterday. And the pitch to Smith outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strike. Let me correct that. Mitchell did not have an RBI yesterday. He had a single infield hit on a run scored yesterday. Overall, yesterday was 2 for 4, but without an RBI. 4-0 Yolo, bottom of the second, and Smith swings here. Chops this ball to shortstop. Grabbed by Leday, and he'll throw across his body on the run to Figueiredo at first. And Smith is out, and Brandon Mitchell, not only a 1-2-3 inning, but a shutdown inning here in the second. So nothing across for Oakland. We shift to the third. It is a 4-0 lead for the Yellow High Wheelers on YouTube Live. We move to the third inning tonight. It is 4-0 Yolo leading Oakland. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live. We'll be on YouTube Live throughout the weekend. We'll start the feed tomorrow and on Sunday, both at 1 in the afternoon Pacific time. Jose Gonzalez leads it off, and Abraham De Leon's pitch, big breaking ball, swinging a foul tip into the glove of the catcher Horner, strike 1. No balls and a strike. Gonzalez, Figueiredo, and Smith. 3, 4, and 5, or 4, 5, and 6 here in the visitors' half of the third. It is 4-0 in favor of Yolo. And the pitch to Gonzalez, swing and a miss at a fastball. Another foul tip into the glove of the catcher Horner. Strike 2, 0-2. Jose struck out looking in the first inning. So he was the only High Wheeler not to bat in that 4-run, 8-batter second inning, in which the High Wheelers had 6 hits. The windup and the pitch, and Gonzalez takes up and away, ball 1. And the count is at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1-2 the count. De Leon came on in the second inning, works out of the set, first base side of the rubber, and Gonzalez a foul ball left side. Strike 2. And the count's now at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Gonzalez gets the start in right field tonight. It's his second appearance in right field this year. He had one in Idaho Falls. 4-0 in favor of the Yellow High Wheelers. Top half of the third. Outfield medium depth and straightaway. As De Leon, first base side again, comes set. Kicks and the 1-2 pitch outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Billy Horton is the Yolo third base coach and manager. And coaching over at first base, the bench coach, Gary Davenport. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch on the way, and Gonzalez rolls this one foul up along first. And the count remains at 2-2. Gonzalez, I talked to him when the team got back from Idaho Falls and asked him how much time he has spent playing right field. I mean, he's been in left field a good chunk of the year in addition to first base. Said he played a little bit of right field in college at Texas State. 2-2 here, and that's it again, foul left side by Gonzalez. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So, doesn't have a whole lot of experience in right field, he says, but obviously different angle to the ball. But he had played a little bit out there in college, but not really at all professionally. Big hole out in right center field, and the 2-2 swung on, and that's driven toward right center field. Well hit, and that ball's going to get down. 1 hop to the wall. Gonzalez hustling toward second. The right fielder Davis goes to pick up the baseball and gets it in toward the second baseman Burkell, and Gonzalez had a 12-game hitting streak snapped yesterday. Starts a new one with a double to right. Hit number 8 for Yolo. It is 4-0 Yolo. Top of the second, and now the man who started that whole thing in the second inning is the first baseman Alejandro Figueiredo. He bats for the second time. He is 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. 4-0 Yolo. Top half of the third. Gonzalez now a streak of 14 straight games where he's reached base safely. Now the pitch to Figueiredo and a breaking ball, and that hits the inner half of the plate. Strike 1. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike with a 4-0 lead for Yolo. Top half of the third. First baseman Martinez well off the bag. Outfield fairly deep and straight away. As De Leon comes set. And the pitch, and Figueiredo is swinging a high pop-up foul right side. And the count's at no balls and 2 strikes to Figueiredo. So 4-0 Yolo. It seems like it should be a lot bigger than that. They left a runner at third base in the first inning, and then, despite having 4 runs in the second, they still had first and third and 1 out before the Blackford double play. As the pitch to Figueiredo was high for a ball. And the count's at 1 ball and 2 strikes from Abraham De Leon, a guy we seen a few times for Oakland, but did not see him over the last 3 games in Davis. Figueiredo at least trying to get a ground ball to the right side here. The kick and the 1-2 pitch, and he gets a ground ball to the right side. How about a base hit to right field? Up to third is Gonzalez. He'll stop there as the right fielder Davis gets the ball into the first baseman Martinez. So Figueiredo not only a ground ball to the right side, but he reaches base as well and advances Gonzalez to third. And now the designated hitter bats, and Tanner Smith already up to 9 hits now for Yolo. And we're only in the top of the third inning. So now Smith, who singled and scored in the second inning, he will dig in. And the pitch on the way to Tanner, and that's low ball one. 1 ball and no strikes the count to Smith. His last now 5 hits have all been singles. 4-0 YOLO. Third baseman Hubbard even with the bag and well off the line as De Leon delivers a strike on the outside corner to Smith. And the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. So, chant of "Let's go Oakland" taking place right now. Pitch on the way to Tanner, and that's low ball 2. So now 2 balls and 1 strike to count.
Calls on the field is being challenged.
Now they're going to, Oakland's going to challenge that call.
After review, the pitch has been overturned to a strike.
And the pitch has been overturned to a strike. So that is a strike to Tanner Smith. So instead of 2-1, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And now Billy Horton comes all the way down to bark at the plate umpire, Alan Walker. And again, I'm not sure what the argument is. And now he and Grant Myers are going at it. Grant, the third base umpire we just had for 3 games in Davis. Grant, who does some Division II college baseball and based out of the Fresno area. Well, and again, I don't know exactly what that argument involved. Well, 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Nobody out, 4-0 YOLO. Runners at the corners, and Tanner Smith takes a breaking ball. Strike 3 called outside corner. Now Tanner would like that one challenged.
The call on the field is being challenged. After review, the pitch is a confirmed strike.
And it's been confirmed a strike. So he is out. And you hear the crowd voicing its pleasure right there. So that's 1 away. That keeps Gonzalez at third and Figueiredo at first. 4-0 YOLO, top of the third, and now Justin Kirby comes up. De Leon, mentioned 24 years old, born in Spring, Texas. It's the Houston area. Played at a couple of Division I schools. Now Kirby takes up an in-ball 1-0. 2022, De Leon, a brief time at Texas San Antonio for 5 games, and then 2023, really a full slate of games for him last spring, meaning 2023 spring, last year's spring at Texas Southern University in Houston. Runners at the corners, and Kirby takes outside for a ball. 2-0. Played a little bit last year in one of the Mexican independent leagues for Yucatan, but this is really his first pro experience in the United States for Abraham De Leon, who deals, and a ground ball foul up along third. That's strike 1 to Kirby. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kirby, a 2-run triple and a run scored in the second inning. 4-0 YOLO. Top half of the third, with Banks wetting on deck from Abraham De Leon. So Aaron Eden, the Oakland starter, chased after an inning and a third tonight. Gonzalez at third, Figueiredo at first. Not much speed by either player, and the pitch, and Kirby takes. And that is outside, ball 2. Ball 3, let me correct that. So 3 balls and 1 strike to count to Kirby. Taps the bat on home plate. 3-1 the count. Middle infield looking to turn 2. De Leon, first base side of the river, comes set. Now kicks and delivers, and Kirby, a big breaking ball, a swing, and just gets a piece of it, fouls into the backstop. And the count is now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for YOLO, no runs, 1 hit, and no errors for Oakland. As I mentioned, good crowd here this evening. A general admission section down each line. Looks like the section down the right field line got a lot of folks there tonight. We got the regular seating bowl, seat backs, green seat backs. A lot of green at this ballpark. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the payoff, and Kirby stays alive and fouls one at the plate. Count remains at 3-2. shade right behind the home plate area. Pretty much all of the home plate dirt circle, and then the grass back of home plate is in the shade. Just about the entire playing field, once you get past home plate out toward the mound and way beyond, still in the sun. Some pockets of shade here and there, but for the most part, a sunlit diamond. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 4-0 Yolo in the payoff, and Kirby swings and just gets a piece of that one. That more than likely was going to be ball 4. That was way outside, but Kirby has to protect with 2 strikes, so he able to just fight it off, keep the at-bat going for the Atlanta area product. And Kirby, who joined the High Wheelers about 4 days into the season, okay, went to spring training with the Billings Ball Club in the Pioneer League, didn't make the Billings team, and was recommended to Billy Horton and the High Wheelers, who signed him. Gonzalez at third, Figueredo at first. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 4-0 Yellow, and again the payoff, and Kirby swings, hits one to short. Should be 2. Jefferson up with it, goes to Burkell at second for 1. On the first, good pick there by Martinez. Double play, and for the second straight inning, Yolo hits into an inning ending. Double play, Jefferson, Burkell, Martinez, short, second, first. 6-4-3. So first and third, nobody out, and the High Wheelers don't score. No runs, there were 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left. We go to the bottom of the third inning. It is 4-0 Yolo leading Oakland on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. On we go to the bottom half of inning number 3 this evening, and a 4-0 lead for the Yolo High Wheelers, who went 2 and 4 in the series when we were here back in June. So 7th time these two teams have met at this ballpark. And Noah Martinez leads it off, and the 6'5" left-handed batting first baseman takes a strike on the outside corner. No balls and a strike. Bottom third of the Oakland order to face Mitchell. It's Martinez, Horner, and Burkell. The windup and the pitch, and that's outside for a ball. And the count moves now to 1 ball and 1 strike. Martinez, 283, 5 home runs, 20 RBIs as the lights now on here at Raimondi Park. The kick and the pitch, and that's a strike called on the outside corner. And the count's at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Martinez. Mitchell in the short black sleeves, 3/4 windup. And Martinez takes, and that is low ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Mitchell's last outing, that was a no decision last Saturday at Idaho Falls. It was a 12-6 Yolo win. That was the last time Yolo won a game. It's been almost a week. As he winds, does Mitchell, and the 1-2 on the way. And that's up and away, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mitchell in that game worked 4 1/3 innings. Issued 8 hits, 3 runs all earned. Walked 2, had no strikeouts. So 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. Outfield deep straight away. Three-quarter windup and the pitch, and Martinez is swinging a foul to the backstop. And the count remains at 3-2. Now Mitchell, this is his third appearance against Oakland this year. He's without a decision against the Ballers. 3 balls, 2 strikes as Mitchell a long look into the catcher Mendoza. Now ready to go, and now Martinez requests his one timeout during this plate appearance. So try it again on 3 balls and 2 strikes with a 4-0 Highwheeler lead. Bottom of the third inning. They'll wind up in the 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called inside corner, and Martinez is out. Tried the old trick of tossing the bat aside, trying to sneak out to first. The plate umpire, Alan Walker, said no, and didn't look like that pitch will be challenged. So Martinez called out on strikes. That's the second strikeout for Mitchell, 1 down. And now the catcher comes up, and Colton Horner, 246 for Horner, the Turlock product with a homer and 10 runs batted in. 4-0 Yolo, home half of the third. The windup and the pitch, and Horner looks on away, ball 1-0. Mitchell without a decision specifically against the Ballers. 7.56 ERA against Oakland coming into tonight. Again, game specifically against Oakland with that ERA, which really isn't too far from his regular ERA anyway. I'm not saying that to be mean, I'm just pointing that out as the pitch is strike called on the outside corner, 1-1. ERA entering play, 7.36. As Horner swings and pokes one fair on down the right field side, and that ball's going to go all the way to the base of the wall. Right fielder Gonzalez has to come up with it toward the corner and gets it in towards second. And Colton Horner has a 1-out stand-up double as the throw comes in towards second. Second hit tonight for Oakland, 4-0 Yolo. And now Brad Burkell comes up. .248 for Burkell, 6 homers, 26 RBIs. Burkell came into play shortstop late in yesterday's game, did not have a plate appearance. Outfield deep straight away, and Mitchell's pitch, and Burkell takes a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike to count. Burkell was 0 for 8 over the 2 games in Davis. The 2 games in which he came to the plate was 0 for 8. 0-1 the count. 1 on, 1 out. And Burkell takes, and that's low inside from Mitchell, ball 1, both with ties one way or another to the Houston area and to the South Louisiana area, and Mitchell and Burkell. 1 ball, 1 strike to count with 1 out. As Mitchell looks back at second, Horner leads there on the pitch, and Burkell takes. Strike 2 called on the outside corner, 1-2. Mitch and Burkell, who probably faced Mitchell in college when Burkell was at McNeese State and Mitchell at University of New Orleans. And then prior to that, Burkell was at the University of Houston. Mitchell grew up in Houston. Mitchell was in the RBI program, a program for kids and for inner city kids playing baseball. And the University of New Orleans staff saw Mitchell playing in this RBI league. As the 0-2 here, swing and a miss. Fastball in the outer half of the plate, strike 3. And Burkell down on strike swinging. Third strikeout now for Brandon Mitchell, 2 down. Horner holds at second base. It is 4-0 in favor of Yolo. And now for the second time tonight, Oakland will go to the top of its order for the right fielder, Austin Davis. He singled to left field in the first inning. But anyway, I was talking to Mitchell about how he ended up at the University of New Orleans. As the pitch to Austin Davis, and that's up and away, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. 4-0 Yolo leading Oakland, bottom of the third. And Mitchell said that members of the University of New Orleans coaching staff saw Mitchell play in the summer in this RBI program in Houston as Davis chops one foul up along third. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. And ended up wooing him over to UNO. Playing over at Privateer Park. More so on the north side of New Orleans, near Lake Pontchartrain. 1 ball, 1 strike. Big lead at second by Horner. And the pitch to Davis, up and away, ball 2. So the count's at 2 balls and 1 strike. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Yolo, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Oakland. Oakland leads the season series 10 games to 5. The kick on the 2-1. Ground ball foul up along third, strike 2. And the count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes from Brandon Mitchell to Austin Davis. Mitchell, 2-seam fastball, a slider, and a changeup. First pro year for Brandon Mitchell. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. And Horner a big lead at second, and the pitch, and Davis made a motion at it and did not go around. And that's ball 3. First base umpire Ricardo Rodriguez said no swing. So 3 balls, 2 strikes the count with 2 out. To Austin Davis. Three and 2 the count. Outfield fairly deep straight away. As Mitchell looks back at second base, comes set. And now the 3-2 pitch. And Davis swings, slaps this ball through into right field, a base hit. Micah Franklin's going to wave Horner to the plate. The ball booted by the right fielder Gonzalez, and now seeing that, getting the second easily with a dive is Austin Davis. And it's now 4-1 Yolo. Now the ball, one of the hardest hit ball, one of those seeing eye base hits in the right field. Now the right fielder Gonzalez had some trouble picking up that ball. I don't know if Davis was going to, I don't think that was a double off the bat. We'll see how they rule that. It'll certainly be an RBI for Austin Davis. Horner was going to score no matter what. So it's 4-1 now in favor of Yolo. Now Peyton Harden bats, and he looks at a strike on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. RBI for Davis is his 26. That will be an error. That's the right call. Charge to the right fielder in Gonzalez. So we'll score that for you a little more in depth in a moment. As the pitch to Harden, a swing and a miss, high fastball 0-2. Single to right, RBI, and then Davis takes second on the error by the right fielder, Jose Gonzalez. So hit plus E9 and an RBI for Austin Davis. So no balls, 2 strikes. Harden is 0 for 1, and he swings and a pop-up foul left side. And the count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. So Oakland able to scratch a 2-out run right here. And, you know, you look at the scoreboard and you see 4 runs and you think, man, that's nice. But Yolo should have a lot more. I mean, you figure you had 9 hits, 4 runs, but Yolo's hit into a couple of double plays. So no ball, 2 strike pitch. And that's swung on, and that's driven toward left center field. And on the run, and a diving catch to his right by the center fielder, Braylon Skinner, flying like Superman, out on the warning track, out in the direction of left center field. Probably the best play we have seen this year, along with maybe Kyle Guerra's game-saving catch in Northern Colorado a few weeks ago. But Braylon Skinner takes a run away and obviously ends the inning as well. And he robs his fellow center fielder in Peyton Harden. What a play there by the center fielder, Braylon Skinner. 1 run for the Ballers, 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left. Oakland will have a new pitcher when we get back as we go on to the 4th inning. 4-1, Yolo leads Oakland on YouTube Live. The new pitcher for the Oakland Ballers, left-hander J.P. Gates. We go to the 4th inning, and Yolo, after that amazing catch by Braylon Skinner, going far and diving to his right on the warning track out in the direction of left center to keep it a 4-1 Yolo lead. Otherwise, a run scores, and again, obviously the inning would have continued, and who knows what would have transpired from there. So J.P. Gates comes on to do the pitching. The two-way player, who we also see as a DH or first baseman. Gates is a pitcher with Oakland. No wins, no losses. 2.57 ERA. 6th appearance all out of the bullpen. So Kirkland Banks leads it off. Then it's Mendoza. And after that, the top of the order for the center fielder Skinner is the first pitch on the way to Banks' outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. 4-1 Yolo. Top of the 4th. As Banks takes outside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Banks an RBI double and a run scored. That was in the 4-run 2nd inning. As Gates kicks and delivers, and Banks takes outside, ball 3. So now 3 balls and no strikes from J.P. Gates. 6'2", 230 pounds, 24 years old. As the 3-0 pitch is a strike called on the outside corner, 3-1. From Gates, who was signed going on about 3 weeks ago now by Oakland. The kick in the 3-1 pitch, and that's fouled to the backstop, strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Abraham De Leon tonight for Oakland, an inning and 2/3 of shutout relief, allowed 2 hits, struck out 1. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the payoff, and that's hit foul up along third. And the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes with a 4-1 Yolo advantage, top half of the 4th. Well, Gates on Tuesday hit a home run against the High Whalers. As Gates 3-2, and that's in the dirt, ball 4. So Banks, he draws a leadoff walk. So he'll go down to first base, and that will bring up the catcher and Angel Mendoza. That was the Tuesday morning. Well, they were all morning games. The last 3 games were all at 10 o'clock, but the 8-5 Oakland win. But Gates, in the 2nd inning of that one, as the designated hitter, had homered. Gates had a 3-hit day and had 3 RBIs. And then he also pitched 2 shutout innings, not in that game, but the next day. Pitched 2 shutout innings with a couple of strikeouts. So now Angel Mendoza bats, and he takes up and away, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. Mendoza, a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd inning. 4-1 Yolo, top of the 4th. Banks good speed at first, being held on by Martinez. And Mendoza takes up and away, ball 2. So now 2 balls and no strikes to count. Banks, mentioned the runner at first. 7 steals for Kirkland this year. He's been caught once. Outfield medium depth straight away. And the 2-0 pitch, and Mendoza turns on this one, and a foul to the backstop, strike 1. So now 2 balls and 1 strike to Mendoza, who hit his first pro home run at this ballpark back in June, about a month ago. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. And the pitch from the set, and Mendoza, high pop-up foul toward the vacant soccer field to my right. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Again, they have the soccer field to my right, and then, which is sort of a beat-up looking soccer field. High patches of grass and dirt. Now turn throw to first, and out with a dive is Banks. He was caught looking the wrong way. The left-hander Gates got Banks leaning too far. Martinez at first there to take the throw. 1-3 on the pickoff, so just like that, 1 out. Nobody on. The count to Mendoza holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So now Gates only has to worry about the batter and delivers. And Mendoza swinging a miss at a breaking ball. So very quickly from a runner at first and nobody out to quickly 2 out and nobody on. And that's the first strikeout for Gates. And now for the 3rd time tonight, Yolo will go to the top of its order for the center fielder, Braylon Skinner. And then looking out, kitty corner to me, further to my right, is A much nicer looking field that combined for football and soccer. Now Skinner, who's 2 for 2, couple singles, RBI and a stolen base, and he takes outside ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes with a 4-1 lead for Yolo. As Gates delivers, and that is taken low for a ball. So the count's now at 2 balls and no strikes. So definitely a big recreational facility here. The kick on the 2-0. Swing and a chopper to second base. Grabbed by Burkell. He'll throw from the shady portion of the first base side of the diamond over to the first baseman Martinez. And Skinner is out on the ground ball to second. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the bottom half of the 4th. 4-1. Yolo leads Oakland on YouTube Live.
Artisans, entrepreneurs, and local businesses in celebration of our rich and diverse community. The first 3 night markets occur during Oakland Ballers home games. This event is open and free to the public.
Ballers fans, I want you to get up on your feet. It's Greatful Dead Night. We're kicking it back to DJ Tio.
On we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning, and the lead for Yolo is at 4-1. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live. Glad you can join us for Yolo High Wheelers baseball. As Trevor Halsema leads it off for Yolo, it'll be Halsema, Hubbard, and Jefferson. 3-4-5 to face Brandon Mitchell, whose first pitch is up and away, ball 1. And the count is a 1 ball and no strikes. Halsema grounded into a 6-4-3 double play to end matters in the first inning. 3-quarter windup and the pitch, and Halsema takes, and that's a strike called on the outside corner. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike to Halsema. The windup and the 1-1, and that's outside ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Halsema had 5 hits over the 3-game portion of the Davis-based series. The kick on the 2-1, and that's driven foul down the right field side by Halsema, strike 2. And the count's at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Mitchell faced Oakland here again about a month ago as he kicks and the pitch. That's low and in, ball 3. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. That was a Yellow 11-6 win back on June 8th. Halsema was 1 for 3 against Mitchell in that game with a single. The 3-ball, 2-strike pitch swung on, chopped to first, grabbed around the cleats by Figueredo, playing perfectly well off the bag, and he'll jog the ball to the bag for the unassisted out. So Halsema is retired, 1 down. He is now 0 for 2. And here is the third baseman, and Dondre Hubbard. He is 0 for 1 tonight, grounded a shortstop back in the second inning. Now, the game that Mitchell pitched here on June 8th ended up with a no decision. Again, he went 4 1/3 innings, so obviously as a starter, you have to go at least 5 to get the win. As the pitch on the way is a strike called to Hubbard on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. That was the game where Braylon Skinner had 2 homers and 7 RBIs. He had a 2-run homer, a 2-run double, and then later a 3-run homer did Skinner. The game Mitchell started, but again, Mitchell was pretty much well out of the game by then. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 2 to Dondre Hubbard. No balls and 2 strikes with Miles Jefferson on deck. Outfield fairly deep straight away. 4-1 YOLO, bottom of the 4th. The windup and the pitch. Low it in for a ball to Hubbard. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Talking about Hubbard and the fact that he had some time in the Washington Nationals chain. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The windup and the delivery and the dirt ball, 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So I was talking to the Oakland manager, Micah Franklin, before the game tonight. I said, what? Talking about Hubbard and, obviously his veteran presence. And I said, what is your connection to Dondre Hubbard? How did you get him here to Oakland? He said, I was his hitting coach in the national system. He and I were together at AA Harrisburg in the Eastern League. Well, that makes sense. A windup in the 2-2 pitch. And Hubbard takes a high fastball, ball 3. And the count runs now to 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's always fun to ask, managers or players or staff about connections. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The windup and the full count offering. Ground ball foul, third base side. And the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes and a 4-1 advantage for the YOLO High Wheelers. Sun since going down right behind me. From where I am, again, this is an outdoor perch here in Oakland. So I'm just right outside the press box. The windup in the 3-2, and Hubbard swings, line drive, center field, base hit. So Dondre Hubbard has a single as the center fielder Skinner gets the ball in towards second. So Hubbard, an 8th inning home run yesterday. Hubbard now has hit safely in all 4 of these games against Oakland or against YOLO in this series. 6 hits in that span. Now it's Jefferson. He struck out swinging in the 2nd inning. 4-1 YOLO, bottom of the 4th. And Mitchell deals from the set, and Jefferson takes low and in, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. So 1-0 the count. Hubbard not a ton of speed, the runner at first base. And the pitch, swing, ground ball towards short. To his right, Leday goes the second baseman, banks for 1 on the Figueiredo at first. That's a double play. And that is all for Oakland in the 4th. So second time Oakland has hit specifically into a 6-4-3 double play tonight. Halsema in the 1st, and now Jefferson here in the 4th. So short second first. Leday, Banks, and Figueiredo. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody stranded. We go to the 5th. It is 4-1, YOLO leading Oakland on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports.
Ballers, fans, we are going to play musical chairs with our guys, Carter, Lucas, James, and Cooper. You guys know the rules, right? When the music stops, you got to find a chair. All right, line up. DJ, when you're ready. In a circle. Go. In a circle. Clockwise. We lost our video. I'm going to just narrate for you guys. Find a chair. Oh, I'm so sorry. Cooper is out first. Nice playing. All right, next round. Go ahead. Scrappy, get off their lap. And go. Thank you. Yeah, take out a chair. Oh, when's it gonna stop? Oh, I'm so sorry, Carter. All right, it's between Lucas and James. 1 chair and kick it. All right, we're going for the fast round, the fast motion.
We head to the fifth inning, 4-1 YOLO over Oakland. Bobby Leday leads it off, and J.P. Gates' first pitch to Leday is a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. 4 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error for the High Wheelers. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for the Ballers as the pitch, and that is taken inside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. Leday 1 for 2 with a single. That was in the second inning, the single was. As the pitch, swing and a miss at a fastball. Strike 2, 1 ball and 2 strikes. I mentioned Leday at shortstop tonight. Once again, Braylon Marine has the night off, and I talked about that with manager Billy Horton. He just said, you know, just an extra day for Braylon, the kick in the 1-2, and that's low ball 2, 2-2. I mean, Braylon has played just about every day this year. He's been such a major part of the, well, obviously both sides of the ball. Recently had a 16-game hitting streak. Marine still in the midst of a streak of 23 straight games where he's reached base. As the pitch to Leday, and that's tapped toward third, and that is a foul ball. And the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 4-1 YOLO leading Oakland. Top half of the fifth. Yeah, because when I saw that he was not in the lineup again tonight, meaning Marine, one of the first things I did when I saw Billy Horton tonight, I said, Marine, just an extra day, and he said, yeah. He goes, Marine's fine. I mean, Marine was taking batting practice tonight, just as if, you know, nothing had changed whatsoever, and that's still the case. The kick in the 2-2, and Leday takes way outside, ball 3. So 3 balls and 2 strikes the count. And the pitch, and Leday swings and hits this one to shortstop to his right. Jefferson up with the ball, and it's throw to Martinez at first, and out by an inch is Leday. So 1 shortstop grounds to the other, 1 out. 5th inning. And a 4-1 YOLO lead, and now Braden Blackford will come to the plate. Blackford, he is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out swinging. He's grounded into a double play. And the pitch on the way, and that is taken outside for a ball. And the count's at 1-0, and the next pitch from J.P. Gates is outside to Blackford, ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes. So Blackford and Angel Mendoza, the lone High Wheelers, yet to reach base tonight. The kick and the pitch, and Blackford is swinging a miss. Looks like a change up there from Gates, strike 2. And the count's now 2 balls and 2 strikes from J.P. Gates, who hails from north of Tampa. And on the western side of the state, Brooksville, Florida. The pitch on the way to Blackford, and that is taken outside, but Oakland's going to challenge that call.
After review, the pitch has been overturned to a strike.
And it's been overturned to a strike, so 2 balls and 2 strikes the count now. So 2-2 the count. And the pitch, and that is outside, ball 3. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Blackford is down on strike. Second strikeout for Gates. So 2 out. And now here is the right fielder in Jose Gonzalez. He is 1 for 2 with a double. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live. Again, we're back on YouTube Live tomorrow, 1 o'clock Pacific time. We'll start the feed 1 p.m. at the same time on Sunday here at Raimondi Park. Now Gonzalez is swinging a foul to the backstop, strike 1-0-1. Due to the day game tomorrow and then another day game on Sunday, the High Wheelers are spending the next, the next 2 nights, spending tonight and tomorrow overnight in a hotel nearby. The 0-1 pitch outside, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. We don't leave the state again until at the end of this month, and then it'll be that long 3-week road trip to the various cities in Colorado. The 1-1 to Gonzalez, a pop-up foul left side, strike 2. And the count's at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Trying to be gone for 18 days. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Gonzalez. Figueredo on deck. A lot of the field now in the shade, and the pitch to Jose. Strike 3 called outside corner. Gonzalez caught looking for the second time this evening. 3rd strikeout for Gates, and now 2 shutout innings. First time tonight, the High Wheelers go in order. So halfway done, we go to the bottom half of the 5th. YOLO 4 and Oakland 1 on YouTube Live.
We have some more great key nights for you this weekend, just like we had Greatful Dead nights tonight. Tomorrow we have Oakland Sports Unity Day, and you can see the best Oakland teams for 1 ticket price, and Circus Day on Sunday with the amazing Robin Lara to close out the weekend. Get tickets and more at oaklandballers.com.
Ballers fans, we are at Club Knocker Ball Knockout. Right next to me is Cole, over there is Stu, and they're going to have to knock each other off their feet. Each time you guys knock up the other off their feet, you're going to get 1 point. First to 3 points wins. Are you guys ready? 3, 2, 1, knockout. Whoa, whoa. Oh, and he's on his feet. Don't worry, I got your glasses. Let's do it again. 3, 2, 1, go! Whoa! Okay, Cole, go. 1 point. 3, 2, 1, go! Whoa! And we're all tied up at 1. We're all tied up. 3, 2, 1, go! Scrappy got stuck in the middle of that one. Okay, it is 2-1. Stu, you got 2. Next point wins. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. Scrappy's still down. And that's it. That's it. Stu is our winner. You got 3 points. Cole got 2 points. Nice job, guys. You're such great sports.
Way to hang in there, Scrappy. Leading off for the Ballers in the bottom of the 5th inning, the designated hitter, number 3, Jalen Smith.
Halfway done, we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 4-1 in favor of the YOLO High Wheelers. Jalen Smith leads it off, and the first pitch from Brandon Mitchell is outside, ball 1. Let's see, we have a Braylon, and a Braden. This is Brandon. We also have a couple of Brandons. The 1-0 pitch to Jalen Smith. Outside Tudo. So we have a Braylon, Braden, and then a Jalen on the other side of the field. Jalen Smith, then Martinez and Horner, 6, 7, and 8. The windup in the 2-0. And Smith swings and he flies one to right field. Gonzalez back, room in front of the track, and he makes the catch. And Jalen Smith is out, 1 away. 5th inning, bottom half. 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for YOLO. 1 run, 4 hits. No errors for Oakland. And now it's Noah Martinez who will come to the plate. Martinez struck out looking in the 3rd inning. Outfield medium depth and straight away. And the pitch, and Martinez takes, and that's outside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball. And no strikes to Martinez. Again, struck out looking in the 3rd inning against Mitchell, who delivers. And Noah swinging a foul ball left side. And that is strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's getting a little cooler now. Obviously, the sun setting in back of me. So can't really look too many places west of Oakland other than San Francisco. The west runs out right there. The 1-1 on the way, swinging a tapper on the grass toward first, and pitcher Mitchell slides to grab the ball on the lip of the grass and then gets up and tags Martinez out going by, 2 away. Not a play that I would see very often. That ball was just tapped up along the grass, first base side, and the pitcher Mitchell hustled off the mound and slid to get to the ball, and he slid to get to the ball before it went foul. So this is a case where you wanted to stay fair, and was able to get Noah Martinez on that swinging bunt. So 2 out, 1 unassisted on the play there. A 4-1 YOLO advantage. YOLO lead, YOLO advantage. They're winning. Bottom of the 5th inning. Horner takes a strike on the outside corner. 1-1 double and a run scored for Horner. Back in the 3rd inning, and he swings and misses a breaking ball, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes the count. But yeah, you can only really look one place west of Oakland. That's across the San Francisco Bay into the city. You can see the city skyline, the Salesforce Tower, the Bank of America building. Even from where I am here in Oakland, the kick on the 0-2 pitch. Outside ball 1. The High Wheelers will challenge that.
Call on the field is being challenged.
And we'll see what the verdict is in a moment.
After review, the pitch has been overturned to a strike.
And it's been overturned to strike 3. So the High Wheelers win the challenge, and it turns into strike 3 called. And that is the 4th strikeout for Mitchell. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the 6th from Oakland. It is 4-1, YOLO leading Oakland on YouTube Live.
Between the hours of 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. If you are parked there, you are at risk of being ticketed and/or towed.
Ballers fans, we have some special groups in attendance tonight that we would love to celebrate. Let's welcome our first Tuesday Warriors. And our second group is all of our deadheads, all the Grateful Dead fans. Stand up! The Grateful Dead is such a big part of the culture here in Oakland, and we are so happy to be celebrating them. And let's kick it on over to our birthday screen, celebrating his 50th birthday tonight. We'd like to welcome Jeff Monson to Raimondi Park. Jeff Monson, JM, we love ya. And last but not least, our very own Kelsey Whitmore is celebrating her birthday tonight. A pioneer in the Pioneer League, our Kelsey Whitmore celebrating her birthday. I'm sorry, I forgot one more birthday. Mike Cool turns 51 today. Mike Cool, 51 years young.
Leading off for the High Wheelers in the top of the 6th inning was first baseman number 4.
Moving along to the top half of the 6th inning, 4-1, YOLO leads Oakland. Really now the entire field is in the shade. I mean, there's some hints of sun out toward left field, but for the most part, we are now in the shade. Figueiredo leads it off against J.P. Gates, and it's Smith and Kirby. 5-6-7 on the first pitch to Figueiredo, the Venezuelan native, a foul to the backstop, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Alejandro 2 for 2 tonight. A couple of singles and a run scored. 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the High Wheelers. 1-4-0 for the Ballers as the 0-1 pitch. Strike 2 called on the outside corner. I don't think Figueiredo agreed with that, but it is a strike. They're not going to challenge that. So 0-2 the count. Figueiredo, and I talked to him before the game, and I think, he and I didn't have this discussion, but I'm sure other people on the High Wheelers did with Figueiredo, again, about this ballpark being so conducive to homers as he looks outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 4-1 YOLO, top of the 6th inning. Figueiredo, I said, yeah, I guess You weren't here last time. He said no. He goes, I don't know what I'm in for this trip. The 1-2 pitch outside, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I talked to YOLO reliever Turner Thompson about that as well. He knows and has heard all the stories that this is not a pitcher-friendly park. 2-2 on the way, outside, ball 3. And the count is now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 the count to Figueiredo. And the kick and the payoff. Swing and a foul to the backstop. Count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes from J.P. Gates, who mentioned, talked about him being from the University of Tampa, at least this past season, where Gates was the Division II College World Series player, meaning MVP. The pitch on the way popped up foul right side. 3 balls and 2 strikes, but Gates bounced around a little bit in his college days, played at the University of Miami. Got to play in an NCAA tournament while with the Hurricanes. Also pitched at Division II Valdosta State in Georgia. The kick in the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the glove of the catcher Horner. Strike 3. And Figueroa chased that and came up empty. So Gates, remember a couple of days ago, 2 shutout innings with a couple of strikeouts so far tonight. 2 1/3 shutout innings with 4 strikeouts. And now Tanner Smith comes up for the 3rd time. He is 1 for 2. A single and a run scored. Third baseman Hubbard even with the bag and well off the line. And Gates pitch and Smith takes, and that's inside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. And now that's being challenged by Oakland.
After review, the pitch is a confirmed ball.
And the pitch stays a ball. So 1 ball and no strikes the count. And the pitch on the way, and that's high for a ball. 2-0. Well, anyway, Gates, not only did he win an accolade as the most valuable player in the Division II World Series this year, but even playing in the NCAA Division I playoffs a few years ago, was named to the All-Starkville region while at the University of Miami. 2-0 pitch inside, ball 3. 3-0. That was as a true freshman in 2019, and Gates, a pitcher and a designated hitter, 2-way player while with the Hurricanes. The 3-0. And that's low and in, ball 4. Second batter walked by Gates tonight. So Smith on base for the 2nd time. 4-1, YOLO leading Oakland, top of the 6th inning. And here is the left fielder, Justin Kirby. Justin Kirby bats. He is 1 for 2, a 2-run triple in that 4-run 2nd inning. 4 runs, 9 hits, an error for YOLO. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for Oakland. So Smith, the runner at first base. And the pitch on the way, and that's taken low, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes to Justin Kirby. 1-0 the count. And the pitch, Kirby swings. Ground ball, shortstop. Jefferson up with it. Underhand toss to Burkell at second for 1. And it's Soto Martinez at first for 2. That's a double play. 6-4-3 on the double play. So the High Wheelers again get into a double play. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the bottom half of the 6th. It is 4-1. YOLO out in front over Oakland on YouTube Live.
What's that?
just one more reminder, fans, for all of those Deadheads in attendance today, we've got that special Grateful Dead promo code up on the screen, and that's going to be good for any ticket to any future Ballers home game. But you can't wait too long. That promo code is only going to be good through the rest of tonight. Leading off the bottom of the sixth inning for the Ballers, the second baseman, number 5, Brad.
On we go to the bottom half of the sixth inning. And a 4-1 lead for the Yellow High Wheelers. Brad Burkell leads it off, and he takes outside from Brandon Mitchell, ball one. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes, so it's Burkell. Then the top of the Oakland order for the right fielder Davis, and then Hart at 9-1-2. As the 1-0 pitch is outside, ball two. Now 2 balls and no strikes to Burkell from Mitchell. Now starting his 6th inning tonight. Burkell, a strikeout victim, swinging in the 3rd inning. The windup and the 2-0 pitch, and that's fouled off left side, strike one. So 2 balls and 1 strike to count from Mitchell. And the pitch, and Burkell takes, and that is low, ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes. So 3-1 the count. Mitchell delivers, and Burkell takes. Strike 2 called on the outside corner. Crowd not agreeing with that late strike call from the plate umpire, Alan Walker, but it is a strike. So 3-2 the count to Burkell. And the entire field in the shade right now. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. The kick and the payoff, and Burkell swings, and he pops this one up on the infield. The third baseman Blackford comes charging down, and parallel to the mound third base sign on the grass, he makes the catch. So Burkell pops to third, and that's out number 1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. It is 4-1 in favor of Yolo. And now for the 3rd time tonight, Oakland will go to the top of its order for the right fielder, Austin Davis. So Mitchell now has worked 5 1/3 innings tonight. The longest he's worked this year is 6 innings. June 15th in Northern Colorado, swing by Davis and a grounder foul up along third. Strike 1. And the count is at no balls and 1 strike. On the count to Davis, who is 2 for 2 tonight, a couple of singles and an RBI, a couple of singles plus, or among the 2 hits, does have an RBI. So no balls and 1 strike to count. 4-1 Yolo. The windup and the pitch, and Davis takes outside, ball 1. Count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. As Mitchell right back home, and Davis swings, dribbler foul up along third. So 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. To Austin Davis out of West Virginia University. Mitchell out of the University of New Orleans. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Mitchell nods approval at the sign from the catcher Mendoza. Ready to go. The 3/4 windup, the 1-2 pitch low and in. And that's ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Seen a couple of people in the crowd here tonight wearing YOLO jerseys like that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The windup and the pitch. And that's up and away, ball 3. So now 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 the count. As Mitchell delivers and Davis swings and a foul to the backstop. And the count holds now with 3-2. With Peyton Harden waiting on deck. Both bullpens here are in right field, meaning back of the right field wall. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 4-1 YOLO, bottom of the 6th inning. They'll wind up in the payoff. Swung on, ground ball shortstop. It's gloved by Leday. Throws to Figueiredo at first. And Davis is retired for the first time tonight. 2 down, home half of the 6th inning. And now Peyton Harden comes up. Harden is 0 for 2. Now, last time up, Harden robbed of what would have been an RBI and what would have been, safe to say, extra bases. He was up with 2 out and Davis at third, and Harden hit a ball toward deep left center, and Peyton Skinner flying through the air, moving far to his right like Superman, made a diving catch to end the inning and take a runaway as Harden takes a strike on the inside corner. No balls, 1 strike. Third baseman Blackford even with the bag, well off the line, and the pitch, and that is low ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, the sun, again, way behind me. You can't, but I can see it's pretty much just about set here. I think the sun is on its way to Australia to wake everybody up down there. The 1-1 pitch is fouled to the backstop, left side of that backstop. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But it's starting to get a little cooler here, so, it's one of those where, early evening, you can sit outside, very comfortable, nice and warm. And then once that sun sets, it gets a little cool here. And yes, I did bring a little sweater. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The kick and the pitch, and Harden a pop-up foul left side. And the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes from Brandon Mitchell, who went to high school in the Houston area, went to Elsick High School, first-team all-district player there, was a kicker on the football team, but only brought in to kick for playoff games. I guess they didn't need him at any other time. The 1-2 on the way. Swung on, hit past the mound, up the middle, and threw in a center base hit. I say past the mound, it was chopped over the head of the pitcher Mitchell, who, when he tried to grab the ball, lost his glove. They say lost his glove. The glove fell off his right hand, and the ball went into center field. So Harden has his first hit tonight. He's 1 for 3. 5 hits for Oakland. 4-1 YOLO. 6th inning. Bottom half, and now Trevor Halsema bats. And he is 0 for 2 tonight. But yeah, Mitchell said, he told me I didn't really play much football. He was a kicker. And I said, it's, all the jobs are important, but he says, but, I was only brought in for the playoff games. Well, in Texas, what the expression is, everything's bigger in Texas. So, those bigger games in Texas, they're going to bring in some of the other athletes at the high school. To maybe they would bring in other quarterbacks just for the playoffs. But Mitchell, baseball, football, and tennis player at Elsick High for the Rams in the Houston area. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Harden, the runner at first, being held on by Figueiredo. It is 4-1 YOLO. And the kick and the pitch, and Halsema takes, and that's low and in for a ball. So now 2 balls and no strikes to count. And the first baseman Figueiredo will come in and have a discussion with Mitchell. Now 2 balls, no strikes. And the pitch swing, and a tapper to second base that's gloved by Banks, and he'll take the ball to the bag for the unassisted out. Here the crowd react. Mitchell tried for that ball, and he slipped, fell on the mound, and missed it, but gets right back up. 4 unassisted on the force at second. So Mitchell, 6 strong innings tonight. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. On we go to the 7th. It stays YOLO 4 and Oakland 1 on YouTube Live. We move on to the 7th inning this evening, and a 4-1 YOLO lead over Oakland again tomorrow. We'll start our feed at 1 o'clock Pacific time and a 1:05 p.m. first pitch. Right-hander Ben Ferrer will be the starting pitcher tomorrow for the YOLO High Wheelers. Left-hander Reed Butts for Oakland. Kirkland Banks leads it off, and J.P. Gates set for his 4th inning of relief. Misses outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strike. Certainly the longest outing for Gates now this year. He'd worked 3 innings on June 28th against Northern Colorado. Swing by Banks, fly ball shallow right field. In comes Austin Davis, and the right fielder is there to make the catch. And that's out number 1 here on the top half of the 7th. 4 runs, 9 hits, and one error for the YOLO High Wheelers. 1 run, 5 hits, and no errors for the Oakland Ballers. So now 3 1/3 innings for Gates. This is now his longest appearance. And now it's Angel Mendoza, who is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt. And the pitch to Angel, and that's hit foul up along first, strike 1. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike to Mendoza. Mentioned lights on here at Raimondi Park, which has been on this site for 100 years, the 0-1. And that's outside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. More and more, and I don't know when the other murals came in, but there's more murals here now than when we were here back in June. Of course, when we were here in June, the stadium still wasn't even 100% complete as Mendoza goes around at a pitch and right around a shoe top, strike 2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Big mural here of the likes of Kurt Flood and Frank Robinson and Ernie Raimondi, 3 of the great players to come out of the city who played at this ballpark in their youth. The 1-2 low, 2-2. Frank Robinson, who I know it sounds elementary to explain who he is, but went on to, of course, be one of the all-time greatest players in big league history, primarily either with the Reds or Orioles, and 586 home runs in his big league career, which was for many, many years in the really top 5 or so around the big leagues for a long time. He was in that top 5 of all-time greats in terms of home runs. Frank went into the slam dunk into the Baseball Hall of Fame back in 1982. As the pitch on the way, outside, ball 3, 3-2. But Frank Robinson, 2-time MVP, Rookie of the Year, was on a couple of World Championship teams with the Orioles. The 3-2 to Mendoza, and that's way outside, ball 4. So he draws a walk, 1 on, 1 out. And now for the 4th time tonight, YOLO will go to the top of its order for the center fielder in Braylon Skinner. He is 2 for 3 tonight. Skinner a couple of singles and then a run batted in. And a 4-1 advantage for the YOLO High Wheelers. And the pitch to Skinner, and bunts 1 foul up along first, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike, but Frank Robinson, who finished just 57 hits shy of 3,000, but Robinson grew up here in Oakland and went to McClymonds High School, but he played ball as a youth at this facility. The kick in the 0-1, and that's outside for a ball, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. So Raimondi Park was to Frank Robinson as, say, Rickwood Field was to Willie Mays. It's where they really got their love of playing baseball going at city fields like this. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch, and that's low and in, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Frank Robinson also won the Triple Crown. 1966 with the Orioles. Led the American League in hitting at .316. League best 49 homers. Of course, league best in RBIs with 122. Mendoza goes on the 2-1. Pitch taken outside. Throw to second, and Mendoza is out with a slide. 2-6 on the count, stealing. The catcher Horner to the shortstop Jefferson. And Angel Mendoza, really a delayed steal right there, but he is out, or attempted delay steal. He is out. Meanwhile, the pitch was called a strike. And despite the High Wheelers challenging it, it's confirmed a strike. So Mendoza is out, 2 out and nobody on. Mendoza now 1 for 2 in steal tries this year. Skinner even at 2 balls and 2 strikes, and he's 2 for 3 tonight. But yeah, Frank Robinson, who, as I said, in his youth played at this ballpark, went on to win an American League Triple Crown. The pitch on the way, swing and a grounder, foul up along first. 2 balls and 2 strikes, but Robinson in 1956 won the Rookie of the Year in the National League as a Red, and then won an MVP in each league. 1961 with the Reds, and then 66 with the Orioles. Is the pitch to Skinner, and that is taken outside. Ball. Well, was that called a ball or a strike? It's being challenged. I'm not sure who is challenging it. Well, wait. Well, it was Oakland who challenged it, and the 2-2 pitch had been called a ball, but it's been overturned to a strike, so that's strike 3. And Skinner called out on strikes, 5th strikeout for J.P. Gates. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Stretch time on this Friday night from Oakland, California. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is 4-1. YOLO leading Oakland on YouTube Live.
Just a heads up, Ballers fan, the merchandise store will be closing at the end of the 8th inning, so if you haven't already picked up your sweet Ballers gear, get on over there right now and deck yourself out.
We want to give another special birthday shout out to George Ison. He's up here in the bowl celebrating his birthday with the Ballers.
Moving along to the bottom of the 7th, stretch time from Oakland, and a 4-1 YOLO lead over the Oakland Ballers. Brandon Mitchell still out there, and it'll be Dondre Hubbard to lead it off. It'll be Hubbard, Jefferson, and Smith, 4, 5, 6. And the first pitch to Hubbard, driven toward right center field, and did he do it again? Yes, he did. Braylon Skinner going all the way out into right center field, robs Dondre Hubbard of probably a triple. And instead, it is 1 out. It has been the Braylon Skinner show defensively tonight. He has literally been Superman in terms of diving through the air. 3rd inning, it was in left center. Moment ago, right center. So Dondre Hubbard now 1 for 3. 1 out, bottom of the 7th, 4-1 YOLO. Here's Jefferson. And Miles takes a strike on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. So Mitchell now 6 1/3 innings, matching the most he has pitched in a game this year. The windup and the pitch, and that is taken outside for a ball. Well, the count moves now to 1 strike. Actually, 6 1/3 is now the longest he's worked in a game this year. Jefferson is 0 for 2. 4-1 YOLO. The windup and the pitch. And that's hit off of Mitchell. Knocks the ball down. His cap goes flying off, but he picks up the baseball, runs it halfway to first without his hat, and he'll flip the ball over to Figueiredo at first base. And Jefferson is out. 2 down. So now 6 2/3 innings for Mitchell. I know he keep adding each out to his inning total, but now 6 2/3 innings. That's the most innings pitched by a YOLO pitcher this year. Ben Ferrer had been the leader in that department. Ferrer had worked 6 1/3 innings June 16th in northern Colorado, but now 6 2/3 by Mitchell exceeds everybody this year in terms of innings pitched for a YOLO hurler. Now it's Jalen Smith, 4-1 YOLO, bottom of the 7th, and Smith takes outside ball 1. And the count's at 1 strikes to Smith, who's 0 for 2. And Jalen takes, and that is inside for a ball. 1 strike. But anyway, we're talking about Frank Robinson, who played here in Oakland, and specifically at Raimondi Park. 2 balls, no strikes. And the pitch on the way, and that is low and in, ball 3. And the count moves now to 3-0. Frank Robinson, not only significant in history with his 2 MVPs, he was the first ever to do it in each league, and a Triple Crown, and all the other stats they've thrown at you. They'll wind up in the 3-0. And that's up and away, ball 4. So Jalen Smith draws a walk. And I'm trying to see if anybody's warming up. It looks like somebody is getting loose in that right field YOLO bullpen. Bullpen for YOLO is the one closest to the foul pole. And pitching coach Jerome Williams will make a slow walk to the mound to allow more time for whomever it is getting loose for YOLO. But Frank Robinson holds a very significant distinction in the history of Major League Baseball. He was the first ever African-American manager. He was a player manager for Cleveland in 1976. And then went on to, of course, manage the San Francisco Giants and a few other teams in the big leagues. Would go on and return to the Orioles, managed Baltimore and managed Montreal. And then he moved with Montreal to Washington and was the first manager ever of the Washington Nationals. But Frank Robinson paved the way for other African-American managers. And certainly, of course, as I said, Frank did so wearing a Cleveland Indian uniform. And there was a man on this day who wore a Cleveland Indian uniform who holds a major mark in the history of Major League Baseball. It was on this day in 1947, Larry Doby became the first ever African-American player in the American League, representing the Cleveland Ball Club. That's the first pitch to Noah Martinez outside ball 1. 1-0. Giants tonight played at Cleveland, a rare trip for the Giants to go to Cleveland in interleague play, and how cool it was for the Giants to be there on the anniversary of Larry Doby's first ever Major League game, the 1-0 pitch. And that's a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Doby would go on and manage the Chicago White Sox in the late 70s, so about 30 years later, Doby moved to play for would go on and manage for the White Sox. Martinez swings and drives this one left center field, and this ball is gone. Home run, a 2-out, 2-run homer by Noah Martinez, and things have gotten tighter now, 4-3 YOLO. So Noah Martinez goes deep. Second time in 3 days against YOLO, in which Martinez has done that. So 4-3 now in favor of the High Wheelers in the bottom half of the 7th. And now Colton Horner's up, and he fouls into the backstop, strike 1-1. Sixth homer for Martinez, now with 22 runs batted in. And now Horner could tie with one swing. He's 1 for 2, a double and a run scored. Mitchell still out there. delivers, and that's up and away, ball one. So it counts now at 1 ball and 1 strike, so 4-3 YOLO. Mitchell, that's the 5th homer he's given up this year, is the 1-1 pitch taken for a strike on the outside corner. And the count moves now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And you talk about leadoff walks. How about that 2-out walk? Setting up that 2-out, 2-run homer. The pitch here, and Horner swings and misses strike 3. And he is out. So Mitchell does get through 7 innings. And still with the lead. So the 2-out walk to Smith, 2-run homer by Martinez. 5th strikeout for Brandon Mitchell tonight. 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the 8th. 4-3, YOLO out in front over Oakland on YouTube Live.
Serving the plumbing industry and do-it-yourself consumers. We have 5 branches in Northern California to serve you, each with a complete stock of plumbing, heating, and sheet metal supplies. Visit us online at rubensteinsupply.com to schedule a showroom visit and see how we can help your projects today.
Ballers fans, this is Willa and this is Cormac. They're going to play the Rubenstein toilet bowl toss. They're going to have toilet paper rolls and they're going to have to make it into that toilet bowl behind me. The first contestant to make 3 in the toilet bowl is going to win. Are you guys ready? Let's get it going. Give them the toilet. Beautiful. Give Willa the toilet paper. Wait, not yet. Go out and practice one. 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. Oh, one in and out. One in and out. There we go. That's 1 for Cormac. 2 for Cormac. Come on, Willa. I believe in you. 3 for Cormac. 3 made all. Cormac made all 3. Nice job. You can keep going, Willa. There you go. Nice job. And Cormac is our winner. Go ahead and say hello. Yeah.
We move on to the 8th inning tonight. And a 4-3 YOLO lead over Oakland. Doug Greenwald with you on U2 Live. And J.P. Gates, who came on in the 4th inning in relief, now set for his 5th inning of work. Bobby Leday leads it off, and he takes low and in ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. So now the High Wheelers trying to get a few runs back after that 2-out, 2-run homer by Martinez in the 7th inning. So Leday, Blackford, and Gonzalez 2, 3, 4 as Leday takes in the dirt. Ball 2. And the count's now at 2 balls and no strikes. A 4-3 YOLO. 4 runs, 9 hits, and air for YOLO. 3-6-0 for Oakland. I don't know if Billy Horton forgot to go out and coach third at the beginning of the inning, but two pitches into the inning, Billy is now on his way over to third. Maybe he was in the bathroom. I don't know. Leday is 1 for 3 tonight. Talking earlier about on this day in baseball history, July 5th, Larry Doby of the Cleveland Indians, the first to ever African American to wear an American League uniform. The pitch to Leday outside ball 3, 3-0. So about 3.5 months, or almost 3 months after Jackie Robinson was the first to do so for Brooklyn, playing in a major league game, was the pitch outside to Leday, ball 4. So he draws a walk. And a good start for the High Wheelers here in the 8th inning. Second time Leday's been on base. And now Braden Blackford comes up. But Larry Doby is in the Baseball Hall of Fame. And, you know, Doby started out playing in the Negro Leagues for the Newark Eagles, one of the very well-known Negro League teams. And then after several seasons, or whatever it was, with them, a bunt back toward the mound. Gates falls down, now throws low, and somehow Martinez picks the ball out of the dirt. Crazy play there. Sacrifice is successful. 1-3 on the sacrifice bunt, so Blackford stays 0 for 3. He does advance Leday. And now I think The umpires are going to get together to see if maybe Martinez came off the bag. But Gates fell down and didn't have time to get back up, so he threw from the seat of his pants. It was a low throw, and he was ruled safe. He was ruled out by first base umpire Ricardo Rodriguez. And they're going to stick with Blackford being out. And I don't know what other view. Maybe the home plate umpire, Alan Walker, trailing the play, might have been able to say something else out of that, but it'll stay an out. So Leday does go to second. Again, 1-3 on the sac bunt. And now Jose Gonzalez comes up. He is 1 for 3 tonight with a double. 4-3, Yolo leads Oakland, top of the 8th inning. Anyway, Larry Doby went on, longtime center fielder with the Cleveland Indians. So he joined the Indians, about midway through the 47 season. So now it's Jose Gonzalez who bats. And the pitch to Jose is low ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. And then he played with Cleveland for about 9 years, 8.5 years. Then he went to the White Sox for a couple years and went back to Cleveland and played briefly with Detroit and then went back again to the White Sox. But as I said, would later manage the White Sox in the 1970s. The kick in the 1-0. And that's outside ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. And Larry Doby had 1,697 hits which just about all of them were in the, within the Indians or White Sox or Tigers. I know the Major League Baseball just redid some of the stats to add Negro League totals. So some of those hits were in the Negro Leagues, but for the most part, American League hits. The 2-0 pitch outside ball 3. And the count moves now to 3 balls and no strikes, but Larry Doby played in a couple of the World Series for Cleveland. 1948, the last year the Indians won the World Series. 3 ball, 1 strike pitch, and Gonzalez takes, and that's strike 2 on the outside corner, 3-2. In fact, Doby also played and was on the winning side of the Negro League World Series when Newark in 1946 beat the Kansas City Monarchs. And then the 48 World Series, Doby had a home run against the Boston Braves. 3 balls, 1 strike. Leday dances off second. The pitch, low outside ball 4 to Gonzalez, and he's on for the second time. 4-3, Yolo leads Oakland. Top of the 8th inning, and Alejandro Figueiredo will come up, and then Doby was on the 54 Indians, who lost in the 4-game series to the Giants, which had been the last Giant World Series title prior to 2010. But, all got going for Larry Doby as a Major League, American League player on this day. Back in 1947. Doby, an 9-time All-Star. As I said, member of the Baseball Hall of Fame, but again, holds a great distinction as being the first American Leaguer to American League African-American player. And then the year that Doby managed the White Sox, that wasn't a full season of games. Total of 87 games he managed the White Sox in 1978. But Doby was born in South Carolina and grew up in Paterson, New Jersey, where Paterson had a Negro League team for a while. That's going to be all for J.P. Gates. So we will step out. Top of the 8th inning, 2 on and 1 out. The score, Yolo 4 and Oakland 3 on YouTube Live.
It starts off easy and then it gets a little crazy. You still got your eye on it, Ballers fans? I want to hear you scream out which hat it's under. 1, 2, or 3. I'm seeing 3. I'm seeing a lot of 3s. Is it number 3? Yes, it is. Good job, Ballers fans.
The new pitcher for the Oakland Ballers is right-hander Derek Cherry. As we are in the top half of the 8th inning, it is 4-3 YOLO. So Cherry, who we've seen a few times this year as a starting pitcher, now we see him out of the bullpen, the University of Houston product. Cherry's record this year is at 1 win and 2 losses, 7.27 ERA, 9th appearance, and his 4th out of the bullpen. So much of the game, YOLO has led 4-1, but Noah Martinez, a 2-out, 2-run homer in the bottom of the 7th for Oakland, has definitely tightened things up. So Cherry, who was the first pitcher ever at this ballpark representing the Ballers. He was the opening night starter here against YOLO back on June 4th. So he comes on to do the pitching. So he inherits runners at first and second. And 1 out. 4-3 YOLO, and Alejandro Figueroa bats. He's 2 for 3. A couple of singles and a run scored. And the pitch on the way to Figueredo is inside from Cherry, ball 1. Well, the count's at 1 ball and no strikes to Alejandro Figueredo. Runner at second, Leday. Gonzalez at first, and Cherry's pitch, swing, ground ball up the middle towards short, and the shortstop in Jefferson cannot get a grip on the baseball. He does save it from going into the outfield, so the bases are loaded. That was one of those in its first hit. You know, if Jefferson gets to it quickly, it's probably a double play. Figueredo does not really have a whole lot of speed, and they had certainly the quick force on Gonzalez available, but nobody able to get to that, Jefferson just unable to get to that ball. It'll be ruled an infield single, and Jefferson did have a ways to get to it. So Leday goes to third, Gonzalez to second. Figueredo now 3 hits tonight. He is 3 for 4. And Figueredo is going to be lifted for a pinch runner. And Kyle Guerra will go in and pinch run. Figueredo likely will come right back in to play first base in the bottom of the inning. So Garrett a pinch run, bases loaded, 1 out, and really imperative here for the High Wheelers to get at least a run. 4-3 YOLO, top of the 8th inning. Bags full, 1 out, and now it's Tanner Smith who's 1 for 2, single walk and a run scored. As Cherry from the set kicks and delivers, and Smith swings, and he drives one toward right center field, taking it for the gap. That's going to get down and could clear the bases. Leday scores. Gonzalez scores. Everybody coming home, including Guerra, and Tanner Smith now stops halfway between second and third, and Mal Martinez, the first baseman, will tag out Tanner Smith. Or are they going to call obstruction? I think Grant Myers, the third base umpire, is going to call obstruction on, I think, the shortstop Jefferson. So Tanner Smith will get credit for a 3-run triple. He was headed to third base anyway. I believe it was Jefferson, the shortstop, who ran into Smith. Micah Franklin's going to come out and discuss the matter with Grant Myers. But 3 runs are in. It's a 3-run triple for Tanner Smith. Real quick discussion between Franklin and Myers. So instead of, as they said, imperative to at least get 1, they've done a lot better than that. They've at least got 3 now in this inning. A 3-run triple for Smith. It's now 7-3 in favor of the YOLO High Wheelers. So the leadoff walk, which was issued by Gates, and then that second walk of the inning, also allowed by Gates. Leday and Gonzalez walking respectively, helped set up the 3 runs here. Now a chance for more. Infield in. Here's Justin Kirby, and he swings and misses at a breaking ball, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. So Tanner Smith, give him a triple, and 3 runs batted in. Smith RBIs 17, 18, and 19. Kirby is 1 for 3 tonight with a triple. Infield in, and Justin takes, and that's outside, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike that counts. You don't see the 3-run triple too often. Obviously, you can only have it and got to be set up for it, but Smith clears them all right there. 3-run triple to right. It was eventually Davis, the right fielder, who got to the ball. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss at a slider from Cherry. Strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So 2 of those runs charged to J.P. Gates. So 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. So 7-3 now YOLO. Trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. 3 of the 4 losses have been to Oakland. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch, and Kirby takes outside ball 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes the count from Derek Cherry. We gave you his stats. We'll give you his vitals. Cherry, 6'1", 195 pounds, 23 years old, from Baytown, Texas. That's in the Houston region. 2 ball, 2 strike pitch, and Kirby a foul ball toward the soccer field to my right. And the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So, mentioned good crowd here tonight on Grateful Dead Night. I'd say good crowd for here. I'd say roughly about maybe 2,500 on this Friday night. Not the only professional baseball game going on in Oakland right now. Orioles and A's going at it this evening at the Coliseum. 2-2. Kirby a swing and a miss to the breaking ball, strike 3. And he is out. So Kirby strikes out swinging. First strikeout for Cherry, 2 down. And now Kirkland Banks comes up.
Second baseman, number 2, Kirkland Banks.
He is 1 for 2 tonight, an RBI double and a run scored. He has also walked. So J.P. Gates tonight for Oakland, 4 1/3 innings. No hits allowed. Gave up 2 runs, both earned. Walked 5 and struck out 5. Kind of an odd line as Banks takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. I mean, you think about it. Most of the 10 of the batters he faced, he got rid of one way or another. Either he let him walk or he struck him out. Most of them, but did not allow a hit. Runner at third, Smith. Infield now back with 2 out. 7-3 is the YOLO lead, and the pitch to Banks is a strike on the outside corner.
Call on the field is being challenged.
No balls and 2 strikes. So 0-2 the count. With Angel Mendoza wetting on deck. Time before about the Giants in Cleveland playing tonight on the 77th anniversary of Larry Doby's big league debut with Cleveland. And the Giants end up winning that game tonight 4-2 at Progressive Field. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Smith leads at third and foul ground, and Cherry's pitch in the dirt, ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the Giants pretty much bullpen night tonight. Eric Miller worked the first inning, and then Spencer Bevins, what a great story he is. A guy who was coached, they say coached, at least was on the same team as Gary Davenport, YOLO bench coach. When Gary was at Double-A Richmond in a similar capacity, Bivens was there. Giants Double-A I'm talking about. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Banks swings, and he flies one high and deep down the right field line, and that lands foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes with a 7-3 YOLO advantage. Bottom of the 8th inning, but Bivens, who last Sunday against the Dodgers was, I know, Giants manager Bob Melvin hoping to get Bivens maybe just through a couple of innings. On bullpen day, Bivens got it through 5 innings, got the win, struck out Shohei Ohtani, who, by the way, Shohei Ohtani is celebrating a birthday today. Birthday 30 for Shohei. But anyway, Bivens struck out Shohei a couple of times, got through 5 innings, got the win. It was a giant blowout win last Sunday against the Dodgers. And Bivens tonight, I guess the designated second pitcher, another really good outing, went 3 innings, only allowed a run. And the Giants end up winning. The kick in the 1-2, up and away, ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Giants used 7 pitchers tonight, but again, that was really by design. And they go in and beat a really, really good Cleveland team, 4-2. So the Giants, they take 2 of 3 from the Dodgers last week, and they go to play in Atlanta against a really, really good Braves team, win 2 of 3 there, and now go to Cleveland and have won at least one of the games in Cleveland. Ryan Walker was the winning pitcher tonight for the Giants, who scored 3 runs in the first, Camilo Doval, who now has 3 saves on this road trip of the 4 games. Doval on his birthday last night got a save in Atlanta, then the loss in that ball game went to Cleveland's Tanner Bybee. As I said, the Giants a 3-run first, and that was enough in the 4-2 win. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Smith at third, 7-3 Yolo on the pitch, and Banks, boy, takes close pitch there, just off the plate, ball 3. And the count's now at 3-2. Yeah, Michael Conforto, a 2-run double in that first inning. Obviously, the big hit there. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, the count. Mendoza on deck. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live. 7-3, Yolo and the pitch, and Banks takes outside. A couple of close pitches, but ball 4. So he walks. It's a 3rd walk allowed by Oakland in this inning. First walk allowed by Cherry. And now it's 1st and 3rd for the catcher, Angel Mendoza.
Now batting for the High Wheelers, the catcher, number 35, Angel Mendoza.
Mendoza 0 for 1 tonight, a sac bunt and a walk. 7 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for Yolo. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Oakland. So Smith at third. Looks like he's been at third for a long time. Banks at first and the pitch, and Mendoza takes a strike on the inside corner. He'd like that challenge. No balls and 1 strike to count.
After review, the pitch is a confirmed strike.
And it's been confirmed a strike, so 0-1 the count. Mentioned the A's are at home tonight. They're about, 15 minutes east of here. And Baltimore leads at Oakland 3-2. That game is going to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Right here, top of the 8th, 7-3 Yolo. And the pitch, there goes Banks. Pitch taken outside, and no throw down to second. So that keeps Smith at third, and Kirkland Banks give him a steal of second base. So Banks, that's his 8th steal this year in 9 tries. Now, means a couple of things. No chance of a force play at second, and now a base hit to the outfield could mean 2 more runs. Yolo has scored 3 times here in the 8th. Leads at 7-3 on the 3-run triple by Tanner Smith. The 1-1, and that's strike 2 call on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. 1-2 the count to Mendoza. On deck the top of the order, and center fielder Braylon Skinner. A 1-2 from Derek Cherry, and that's right down the middle. Strike 3 called. Mendoza knew it, and he is out. Second strikeout for Yolo, but the second time tonight they send 8 to the plate, and the leadoff walk to Leday turns in eventually to a 3-run triple by Tanner Smith. 3 runs, 2 hits. There were no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 7-3, Yolo leading the Oakland Ballers on YouTube Live.
Give it up one last time for DJ
now pitching for the High Wheelers, number 37, Jacob Stobart.
47.
Correction, number 47.
We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and Yolo a little more breathing room. A 7-3 Yolo advantage over Oakland. And Jacob Stobart will come on to do the pitching. Alejandro Figueiredo goes right back into the game to play first base after he had been lifted for pinch runner Kyle Guerra. So Stobart on to pitch as we move on to the bottom half of the 8th. So Brandon Mitchell ends up working 7 innings here tonight, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. So Brad Burkell to lead it off for the Oakland Ballers. It'll be Burkell and the top of the Oakland order for the right fielder Davis, and then Harden 9, 1, and 2 to face Stobart in those bright yellow cleats, gray pants, long orange sleeves underneath his black shirt. As the pitch on the way to Burkell, and that's up and in, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. So 1-0 the count to Burkell, who's hitless in 2 tries. And the pitch, and Burkell is hit with a pitch, so up and in, and that is not exactly the way that Stobart wanted to get his bottom half of the 8th going with a 4-run lead, and that is hitting the leadoff man. So Burkell will go down to first base. And now for the 4th time tonight, Oakland will go to the top of its order for the right fielder, Austin Davis. He is 2 for 3 tonight, a couple of singles, one of which was an RBI hit. One of those was an RBI hit, so I was right the first time. And now the pitch to Davis, low and inside, and the ball gets away from the catcher Mendoza over toward the first base side, and Burkell will move up to second base. And I believe that'll be a wild pitch. And the pitch was in the dirt, so it's usually a good indication. So Stobart now has hit a batter and has offered a wild pitch. Now, as it turns out, it's not going to be. They're going to call that a pass ball. So I beg your pardon there. But regardless, it's still a runner at second base and nobody out. 7 runs, 11 hits, 1 error for Yolo, 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error for Oakland. Brandon Mitchell tonight for Yolo worked 7 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He walked 1 and struck out 5. So runner at second base now is Burkell, and the pitch to Davis, and that's down the middle for a strike. And the count moves now to 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 the count from Jacob Stobart, who I finally got to have a long talk with him before the game tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch, and that's up and away, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike the count from Stobart, who stands 5'10", 180 pounds. He's 26 years old, was at Billings last year in the Pioneer League under manager Billy Harden. 2 ball, 1 strike pitch, and Davis shows bunt, and he looks at a strike on the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I mentioned, he touched about Stobart was a nursing major in college at Stephen F. Austin, and told me before the game tonight that he still has a few credits short of completing the nursing degree. Lead at second by Burkell, and the pitch, and Davis swings and misses at a fastball, strike 3, and he is out. And that is the first strikeout for Stobart. I had to pause for a moment. I don't know if you heard the PA announcer said that there is a car running right now outside the ballpark with nobody in it. And he gave the license plate, and I just wanted to make sure that was not my car. My car has a tough enough time running with me in it. Now it's Harden. He is 1 for 2 tonight. 1 for 3 tonight, let me correct that. And the pitch, Harden bunts 1 foul at the plate, strike 1-1. Anyway, so Jacob Stobart, a good visit with him, and he said that he was unable to complete his degree for the moment in nursing at Stephen F. Austin. Majored in that in nursing for 3 years, but was still a few credits shy before getting into professional baseball. No runs, no balls, and 1 strike to count. 7-3 Yolo on the pitch, reached for a pop-up foul left side. Strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. So he majored in nursing through his junior year and then went into human development / family studies. And I asked him, I said, I don't meet many baseball players who major in nursing. Kinesiology, maybe other things to do with the body, maybe psychology. But I don't recall ever meeting a ball player that majored in nursing. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 7-3 Yolo. Lead at second by Burkell. And now time called. But he said, he loves working with, he's a people person. Loves working with people, loves working with kids, and learned that trait from his mother. And he said one of the reasons that he wants to be a nurse is because his mom is a nurse. Makes sense. No balls, 2 strikes. Stobart again looks back at second base. 7-3 Yolo, bottom of the 8th, and the pitch. And that's in the dirt, and that kicks away from the catcher Mendoza toward the backstop. Dan Burkell moves to third now with 1 out. I will wait to see how that is ruled this time. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. And Yolo, or in Davis, I will admit I do have a little bit of a hand in the scoring. Usually I'll consult with some others in the press box. That is not the case when I'm on the road, and generally speaking, that's never been the case with me. That will be a wild pitch. Charge to Stobart. So Burkell now is at third with 1 out. Infield back in the pitch, and that is way inside from Stobart. Ball 2. So it counts now 2 balls and 2 strikes. But yeah, that's what Jacob told me. He says, my mom's a nurse, love working with people and the well-being of others. Really salute Jacob Stobart on that. 2 ball, 2 strike pitch. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball, strike 3, and Harden is out. So back-to-back strikeouts for Stobart, 2 down. 7-3 Yolo, and now Trevor Halsema will come to the plate. Stobart's record this season: 4 wins, 2 losses, 13th appearance, all out of the bullpen, 6.57 ERA, and looks like that will be all for him. His manager, Billy Horton, is on his way to the mound. So he'll take the ball from Stobart, and we will step out. So we'll see a new Yolo pitcher in a moment with the score in the bottom of the 8th inning, 7-3. Yolo leading Oakland on YouTube Live.
We got a remote, or a controller, and a Game of Thrones. I'm hearing it. Game of Thrones. Let's do another. It's another song. Lots of arrows. Turn down for what? Do we even know that that's it? All right, we got another movie. Finding Nemo, I heard it over here. Finding Nemo. One more. Sleeping Beauty. Okay, I kind of see that one. And that was the Emoji Puzzles game.
Bottom of the 8th inning, 2 out, 1 on. It is 7-3, YOLO leading Oakland. And Ty Buckner is the new YOLO pitcher. He did not work at all in the 3 games in Davis against Oakland. So for Buckner, no wins, no losses, 13th appearance, all out of the bullpen. ERA of 2.13, and he has 3 saves, and he will not add to his save total tonight. Comes on in the 8th inning with a 4-run lead, without the tying run being anywhere in sight, that is. So Trevor Halsema comes up to face Buckner, and he is 0 for 3 tonight. So Buckner hasn't pitched since the series at Idaho Falls. Buckner, 6'1", 190 pounds, from St. Louis, and he is 25 years old, and Ty Buckner. So Brad Burkell at third, and now Halsema takes Sloan away from Buckner, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball. And no strikes. Buckner hasn't worked, he hadn't worked in almost a week. Got to go back to last Saturday, the 29th of June. The 1-0 pitch, high ball 2, 2 balls, no strikes. So the last game YOLO won, that 13-6 game, Buckner went 1 perfect inning. That was the 9th with a strikeout. No save in that one for Buckner, who's 3 saves again, leads the team. Next pitch outside, ball 2. So the count now is at 2 balls and no strikes to Halsema, with Hubbard waiting on deck. 7-3 YOLO, and the pitch way inside and high, nowhere close to the plate. That's ball 3. And the count moves now to 3 balls and no strikes from Ty Buckner. So 3-0 the count. Outfield deep straight away. And the pitch, and that's right down the middle, strike 1. So 3 balls and 1 strike to count. In the outfield deep and straight away. And Buckner delivers, and pitch there, and that is ball 4. Like Halsema might have offered, but did not go around, so that's ball 4. And now it's 1st and 3rd, and now the tying run moves into the on-deck circle. And now that as Andre Hubbard comes to the plate, so Hubbard, he is 1 for 3, so 2 on and 2 out. Now, of course, if he gets on, then Jefferson would bat as the possible tying run. 7-3 YOLO, bottom half of the 8th inning for Dondre Hubbard. This is a very, very important at-bat right here. And I look at it more from the defensive side as Hubbard takes a strike on the outside corner 0-1. I mean, obviously Hubbard would love to hit a home run here, but you know, Hubbard goes deep and he leads the team in homers with 9. All of a sudden, it's a 1-run game. So it's a very, very small 4-run lead as Hubbard swings and misses at a fastball. And that is strike 2. And the count moves now to no balls and 2 strikes. Mitch and Buckner cannot get a save in this game, but does have 3 saves this year to lead the High Wheelers. His last save, June 14th in Northern Colorado. No ball, 2-strike pitch, and Hubbard takes just outside ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 7 runs, 11 hits, and an error for YOLO. 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Oakland. Burkell is at third. Halsema is at first. And the outfield deep and straight away. So 1-2 the count. And the kick and the pitch, and Hubbard swings, and a tapper to second base. That's gloved by Banks, who's right near the bag to step on it. Just took 1 step to his right, put his right foot on the bag to force Halsema. So 4 unassisted on the force at second. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the 9th. It remains 7-3. YOLO leading Oakland on YouTube Live. Moving along to the ninth inning, 7-3. Yolo leads Oakland. Greenwald with you on YouTube Live. And for the fifth time tonight, Yolo will go to the top of its order for the center fielder. Braylon Skinner is Derek Cherry, who came on in the eighth inning, misses low and in, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. So Skinner, Leday, and Blackford. Skinner 2 for 4, a couple of singles, including an RBI hit. Outfield around to the left as Cherry works from the set, and the pitch on the way to Skinner inside for a ball. So 2 balls and no strikes. So Yolo fortunate to still be up by 4 runs here. Third baseman Hubbard in on the grass as Cherry comes set, and now with nobody on, and the pitch on the way to Skinner is a strike on the outside corner. So 2 balls and 1 strike to count from Derek Cherry, who is the 4th Oakland pitcher tonight. Aaron Eden started the game, but got knocked out after an inning and a third. As the pitch low and in, ball 3. So now 3 balls and 1 strike to count to Cherry. 3-1. Cherry, 3 years at the University of Houston and then 1 year at McNeese State. Delivers to Skinner, who takes a strike on the outside corner. 3-2 the count. Last year, Cherry was at State College in the MLB Draft League, where his pitching coach was now Yolo pitching coach Jerome Williams. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the payoff, low inside, ball 4. So Skinner on base for the 3rd time this evening. Second walk issued by Cherry. And now Bobby Leday digs in. A 7-3 Yolo advantage. 7-11-1 for Yolo, 3-6-1 for Oakland. And now Bobby Leday, who got that 3-run 8th inning started with a walk, which eventually led to the 3-run triple by Tanner Smith. He bats for the 5th time. Leday is 1 for 3, a single, a walk, and a run scored. And the pitch to Leday, and that's down the middle, strike 1. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike. So Cherry faced the High Wheelers on June 4th, and then faced the High Wheelers again June 22nd. He's 1-0 over the course of the 2 starts against Yolo this year. The 0-1 pitch, and Leday bunts one foul to the backstop. And the count's at no balls and 2 strikes. Cherry last worked as a starting pitcher June 28th here against Northern Colorado. Went, as I said, got the start and got the loss in that game. Worked only an inning and a third and gave up 7 runs all earned in what was a 15-1 Oakland loss to the Owls. No balls, 2 strikes. Cherry from the belt delivers, and Leday made a motion to pitch and went around strike 3, said first base umpire Ricardo Rodriguez. 3rd strikeout for Derek Cherry, 1 down. Holding at first is Skinner, who already has a stolen base tonight. And now Braden Blackford comes up. He's the only High Wheeler in the starting line tonight who has not reached base. He is 0 for 3 with a sac bunt. 7-3, Yolo leading Oakland here in the 9th inning. So outfield deep and straight away. Skinner does have a stolen base tonight. That was in the 1st inning. And now the pitch on the way to Blackford, and he has to jump rope to get out of the way of that one, which goes all the way to the screen. I mean, that was below his cleats. He had to really, as they say, jump to get out of that one. The ball was skipped right back off the backstop to the catcher, Horner. So up to second base goes Skinner. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes. So they do get the runner to second base with 1 out. That'll go as a wild pitch charge to Cherry. Now 1 ball and no strikes. And the pitch on the way, and that's swung on by Blackford in a high pop-up foul left side. And that's strike 2. And the count's now at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jacob Stobart tonight for Yolo. 2/3 of an inning, struck out 2, hit a batter, and he offered a wild pitch. So 1 ball and 1 strike to count. with Jose Gonzalez on deck. Cherry again ready to go. Skinner at second, and Blackford takes, and that's strike two called on the outside corner. And the count moves now to 1-2 to Braden Blackford. And much of, as I said, don't know the crowd count right now, but they still got a large chunk of folks here tonight on Greatful Dead Night here at Raimondi Park. The 1-2 on the way, and Blackford swings, hits one up the middle, center field, base hit. Billy Horton is going to wave Skinner to the plate, and he will come around and score standing up. Nobody covering second, and seeing that, Blackford is going to go all the way to second. Yeah, the second baseman, I'm not sure where the second baseman Brukel was, and Jefferson, I don't know where he was, but nobody was covering second base. Meanwhile, it is 8-3 now in favor of Yolo. Single to center, RBI, second on the throw. So Blackford now has joined the other 8 in the starting lineup who have reached base safely tonight. So the Yolo High Wheelers make it now 8-3, and now I think a few more folks starting to depart. The RBI for Braden Blackford is his 27th this year. 12 hits now for Yolo, and the manager Micah Franklin out to call a conference on the mound. So the leadoff walk, back-to-back innings in which the leadoff walk has led to at least a run. It led to 3 runs in the 8th. It leads to at least a run now. Remember, the big inning for Yolo was that 4, big in terms of the number of runs scored. Maybe not the most significant inning, but the number of runs scored. 4 runs in the second, where the first 4 High Wheelers all reached on hits. So now it's Gonzalez who bats, and the pitch on the way, and that's outside ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes the count. So Blackford, single RBI, second on the throw. Gonzalez is 1 for 3, double, a walk, and a run scored. 8-3 Yolo, top half of the 9th inning. And the pitch, and that's outside for a ball to Gonzalez. So 2 balls and no strikes. Doug Greenwald with you here on YouTube Live. Again tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. first pitch. We'll start the YouTube feed at 1 p.m. for tomorrow, and 1 p.m. also on Sunday. So 2 balls, no strikes the count. And the kick and the pitch, and Gonzalez takes low ball 3. A couple of Houston area products here. 3 balls, no strikes. I bet these two knew one another growing up in Houston. Seems like everybody in this league I've talked to, or that I've talked about, who was from the Houston area, Gonzalez knows. 3 balls, no strikes. Blackford at second, and the pitch, and that's way outside ball 4. So Gonzalez on for the 3rd time tonight. 2nd time he's walked. He had doubled in the 3rd inning. So now it's 1st and 2nd with 1 out. And now Alejandro Figueiredo digs in. He's got 3 hits tonight. He has 3 for 4, a couple of runs scored. How about this? You know, Yolo has 8 runs tonight, an 8-3 Yolo lead. 5 of the 8 runs have come on triples. That's not something you see too often. The Kirby 2-run triple in the 2nd, and Smith the 3-run triple in the 8th. So now Figueiredo digs in, and Alejandro takes a strike from Cherry on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Again tomorrow, right-hander Ben Ferrer for Yolo, and left-hander Reed Butts for Oakland. Outfield fairly deep straightaway. No balls, 1 strike. And the pitch, and that is a strike called on the inside corner to Figueiredo, and the count's no balls and 2 strikes. And I know we still have a little bit of a game to go tonight. I mean, obviously, 1 out in the 9th. Oakland still has its chance in the 9th. But only 1 home run so far in this game. Ballpark that is conducive for home runs. That was the Noah Martinez 2-run homer for Oakland in the 7th inning. Seems like a long time ago. 0-2 the count. And the pitch from Cherry, and Figueiredo, a high pop-up foul to the right. And the count holds at no balls and 2 strikes.
Home with a lucky fan.
Well, Figueiredo, I mentioned Began the year in Billings, played last year with Billings. Billings not scheduled to come here this year, and yet Figueredo gets traded, and now he sees this ballpark. The 0-2 pitch fouled off right side. And the count holds it. No balls and 2 strikes. Look down to my right, see all the concession stands, which are really more canopy-like setups, like little tents. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 on. And the pitch to Figueredo, and he fouls this one at the plate. Keeps the plate appearance alive with Tanner Smith waiting on deck. So no balls and 2 strikes the count. Still strange to see this rule where Figueredo came out of the game for a pinch runner but can stay in the game. Can only do that once. So Kyle Guerra went in a pinch run, and that proved obviously a good move because Guerra was one of the 3 who scored on that triple by Smith. So some new rules this year in the Pioneer League. Each team gets 6 challenges if you want to, whether it be offensively or defensively, but up to 6, combination of challenge balls and strikes. Kick and the pitch here, and Figueredo takes, and that is low ball 1-2. Yolo, by the way, even though they have a 5-run lead, Yolo is out of challenges. So 1 ball and 2 strikes the count with 1 out. Blackford's at second, Gonzalez at first. And the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch from Cherry to Figueredo, and that's low and in ball 2. And the count's now with 2 balls and 2 strikes. Game here tonight is on television in the Bay Area, KPIX, the digital channel, cable channel 44. All of the Friday home games for the Ballers are on KPIX TV. The 2-2 to Figueredo. Line to third, low line drive, and that's caught by Hubbard. And the runners retreat. So Figueredo now 3 for 5 tonight, 2 out, 2 on. Blackford holds at second, Gonzalez at first. And now Tanner Smith, who's 2 for 3 tonight. Single, walk, and then that 3-run triple in the 8th inning. That was against Cherry. So now Smith comes up and the pitch, and Tanner takes low ball 1. Well, the count's at 1 ball and no strikes with an 8-3 Yolo lead. Cherry almost up to 50 pitches now, and he came on last inning. Remember, he's been a starting pitcher this year. 1 ball, no strikes. Big hole in left center, and the pitch to Smith goes down for that one and comes up empty. Now the count is at 1 ball and 1 strike with Justin Kirby on deck. Blackford's at second, Gonzalez at first. And the 1-1, and Smith swings, and he pokes this one towards short. And it's bobbled by the shortstop in Jefferson, who now tosses it towards second. And that ball got away, and now Blackford comes home, and the throw home from the second baseman, Brukel, to the catcher in Horner, and Blackford is out with a slide. How's that for a wacky play? Where that was one of those where when the ball was hit, you could sort of tell that it had a lot of English to it, and the shortstop Jefferson bobbled the ball, and then he tossed it to the second baseman Burkell, overshot Burkell. Seeing that, Blackford tried to score all the way from second, and he was out, and we'll score that for you when we get back. There will be an error involved in that, so no runs. There was 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left. We'll give you the exact breakdown when we get back. We go to the bottom of the 9th, last chance for Oakland. It is Yolo 8 and Oakland 3 on YouTube Live. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. It is a 8-3 YOLO lead over Oakland. And John Pyle, capital P-Y-L-E. John Pyle is going to pinch hit for Miles Jefferson. Facing Ty Buckner, and the first pitch to Pyle is outside, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. So Pyle, who wears number 4, and comes up to pinch hit leading off the bottom of the ninth. So it's Pyle, Smith, and Martinez. 5, 6, 7 in the pitch on the way, and that's a strike call on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. All right, so here is the breakdown of that crazy plate in the top of the inning as Pyle swings and he bloops this one. Shallow right field, base hit. And the Ballers have the leadoff man on. So Pyle, who was just signed by Oakland a couple of weeks ago, as a base hit. Pyle, by the way, coming in with just 5 official at-bats. 1 for 5 on the year coming into tonight. Now it's Jalen Smith, who is 0 for 2. Charged the shortstop, Miles Jefferson, with an error. That allowed Tanner Smith to reach, and it allowed Blackford to go to third and Gonzalez to move to second. And then Blackford on his then tried to score, and he was out at the plate. The second baseman Burkell to the catcher Horner. As the pitch is inside to Smith for a ball from Ty Buckner. 2 balls, no strikes. So in other words, Jefferson booted the ball and then tried to throw to second to get Gonzalez on the force. Overshot the second baseman Burkell, and then Burkell had to chase the ball down, and Blackford tried to come all the way around from second to score, and Burkell threw to the plate, and the catcher Horner tagged out Blackford. So I guess technically it's a fielder's choice, E6. Fielder's choice, error 6. But then Burkell is out Blackford is out 4-2 on that play. So that last inning there was no runs, 1 hit, there was 1 error, and 2 runners left. So Oakland has well, they put 2 errors up on the board. The pitch on the way, that's in the dirt, and the ball caroms over toward the third base side of home, and seeing that, Pyle will move up to second base. So no throw there from the catcher Mendoza. And a runner at second, and the count is now at 3 balls and 2 strikes with an 8-3 YOLO lead. In the bottom half of the 9th inning. Fastball here, swing and a miss, strike 3. And Jalen Smith is out, so first strikeout for Buckner.
Now batting for the Ballers, the first baseman, number 23, Noah Martinez.
And now here is Noah Martinez, who comes up. So Martinez digs in, and the pitch on the way, and that is inside on the corner, strike 1-0-1-1. All right, I need to correct a rather significant play in this game, and I should have known better. All the years I've been in the game, and I forgot about the scoring rule of this as Martinez takes, that's in the dirt for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. The ball that Tanner Smith, that I thought had been a 3-run triple, is actually ruled a double. This is the 3-run hit in the 8th inning. And remember, Smith, there was obstruction on the, and it was actually the third baseman Hubbard, not the shortstop Jefferson, when Smith was hung up between second and third, and then obviously he was trying to get back to second base, or trying to get to whichever way you want to look at it, was hung up and ran into the third baseman Hubbard as Martinez takes, that's in the dirt, and goes to the screen, and Martinez has to play that, or Mendoza has to play that one off the backstop. So, second wild pitch of this inning offered by Buckner. So Pyle, who singled, moves to second on the wild pitch, and now moves to third on a wild pitch. So 2 wild pitches in this inning. Charge to Buckner. Meanwhile, the count is at 2 balls and 1 strike. And an 8-3 Yellow lead. Well, Smith gets credit for a 3-run double. It is not a triple. And I know I called it a triple, and I apologize. As Martinez swings and a tapper on the grass toward first. To his right, Figueroa feeds the pitcher. Buckner just in time to get Martinez at first. Pyle scores, but the High Wheelers are more than happy to allow that run to score in exchange for the out. So give Martinez, who had a 2-run homer his last time up, an RBI ground out here. But 2 out, nobody on. So that makes the score 8-4 in favor of Yolo. But anyway, because Smith was obstructed, that goes as an error on the third baseman, Hubbard. And remember, Smith really only got as far as second. He got to third because of the obstruction. So that was a 3-run double by Smith and took third on the error. Obstruction is an error. If a fielder obstructs, the runner gets the next base, and the base is accounted for on an error. So that was an error on that play. Charge to Hubbard. So E5 on the obstruction. But Smith still gets 3 RBIs on that. So that's where that other error came from, and I forgot that is the rule on obstruction, that a fielder is charged with an error. So it's a 3-run double for Smith, not a triple. The pitch on the way popped up foul right side by Colton Horner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now Oakland is down to its last strike. So do want to clarify that. Good thing I went back and looked at the play-by-play, the online feed. Horner 1 for 3, double and a run scored. And the pitch, and he swings and turns on this one, and a foul to the backstop. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So it's 8-4 Yolo. Here in the bottom of the 9th inning with 2 out. Buckner, 4-seam fastball, cutter, changeup, slider delivers, and Horner swing and a miss, strike 3. Breaking ball there gets him, and the ball game is over. And Ty Buckner's second strikeout tonight is his last strikeout tonight. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. Final score here tonight, it was Yolo 8 and Oakland 4. And Yolo snaps its 4-game losing streak. So obviously, going to feel a little better tonight after winning this one. So this one has reached its conclusion here this evening, this 3-hour and 11-minute game. So here are the final totals. First for the victorious Yolo High Wheelers, whose record now for Yolo goes to 17-20. Yolo comes up with 8 runs, 12 hits, 1 error, and Yolo ends up stranding 7. For the Oakland Ballers, whose 4-game winning streak is over, and they go to 23-17. For Oakland, 4 runs, 7 hits. There were 2 errors, and Oakland leaves 4. The winning pitcher tonight for the Yolo High Wheelers is Brandon Mitchell. He is now 2-1. There was no save, and the loss to Oakland's Aaron Eden, and he drops to 2-4. Time of tonight's game was 3 hours and 11 minutes. And let me see the crowd count tonight. And the paid crowd tonight here at Raimondi Park was 2,096. So Yolo ended up scoring 4 times in the second inning, knocking Aaron Eden out of the box. The first 4 Yolo hitters came up and got hits. Alejandro Figueredo, a leadoff single. Tanner Smith singled. Justin Kirby, a 2-run triple. Kirkland Banks, an RBI double. And then later in the inning, the top of the Yolo order was up for the second time. The center fielder, Braylon Skinner, an RBI single. Oakland scored a run in the third and then added in the seventh inning a 2-run homer by Noah Martinez. That was off of Mitchell, and that made it 4-3. But Yolo got 3 runs right back in the eighth. The leadoff walk to shortstop Bobby Leday, and then later in the inning, the 3-run double by designated hitter Tanner Smith, and that pretty much put the game away. And Yolo ends up winning 8-4. Brandon Mitchell, 7 innings tonight. That's the longest outing by any Yolo pitcher this year. 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs all earned, a walk and 5 strikeouts, allowed a home run. Jacob Stobart, 2/3 of an inning, 2 strikeouts, a hit batter, and a wild pitch. And Ty Buckner ends up going the final inning in a third. So Buckner 1 1/3 innings. Ty allowed 1 hit, no runs. He walked 1 and struck out 2. Actually, Buckner allowed 1 run. That was the kind of a quiet run of the ninth inning. So 1 1/3 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, which was earned, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and 2 wild pitches. The Oakland starter, Aaron Eden, an inning and a third, 7 hits, 4 runs all earned, no walks, 2 strikeouts. De Leon, 2 inning and a 2/3 for Abraham, 2 hits, no walks, a strikeout. Good job in long relief by J.P. Gates, 4 1/3 hitless innings, 2 walks, 4 1/3 hitless innings, 2 runs both earned, 5 walks, but he also struck out 5. But for the most part, pretty much held things close. And then Derek Cherry, the final pitcher tonight for the Oakland Ballers. And Cherry this evening, he ended up lasting an inning and 2/3. He issued 1 hit, 1 run, which was earned. He ended up walking 3 and striking out 3. But Yolo back in the win column tonight. Final score, Yolo 8 and Oakland 4. Our next broadcast will be on YouTube Live tomorrow. We'll start the feed for you at 1 o'clock Pacific time, 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 1:05 p.m. first pitch, both tomorrow and on Sunday. Tomorrow for Yolo, it'll be the right-hander Ben Ferrer who gets the baseball. 2 wins, 2 losses. Oakland will counter with left-hander Reed Butts at no wins and no losses. Michael Sapel, our producer tonight, great job as always. And we will talk to you tomorrow at 1 o'clock on YouTube Live. Again, the final score tonight, Yolo 8 and Oakland 4. Doug Greenwald saying goodnight from Oakland.